Creating this work, I'm making sketches, design the lights, design the colors and the compositions.
Yeah, okay.
But he's critical of how the owner of the original oil paintings made their money.
From the colonialism, actually the still life always represent the wealth and the power. I want to show you this is problematic relationship with the humans and with our planet. I sell my works as NFT. Actually, they buy a token, not an artwork. I sold my first work for $10,000. I find the money to come here. Actually, I'm a political refugee.
After receiving death threats, he left Istanbul with only a few clothes and his camera.
I'm Kurdish. I never feel I belong to Istanbul or Turkey. You're an outsider, always. And you're always a danger for them because you're Kurdish, you're a potential terrorist.
If the computer said that was the amount that should be there and it wasn't, you had to make it good. So, I was repaying 3 lots of money, and eventually I remortgaged and put money in because I couldn't keep ringing the help desk because they said to me, they warned me they'd sack me if I did it again. So I remortgaged and put money in, I borrowed money, put it in, and then I ran out of money and I let the amount climb until I was £36,000 short.
And then you got prosecuted?
Yeah.
You ended up pleading guilty just to accelerate everything.
Well, they only ever charged me with theft in the beginning, the theft of 36 grand, and they waited almost 2 years, right until the trial date, and they said, well, if you plead guilty to false accounting, we'll drop the theft, but you mustn't mention problems with Horizon in mitigation, and repay all the money. So that was the deal done. And so my lawyer said, well, you've technically committed false accounting, so in order to avoid prison, plead guilty to it. So that's what I did. I felt I had no choice, so I did it.
Tell me about the reaction you had from your community, because you had wonderful support.
I had amazing support. 74 people from the village turned up, including the vicar, who stood up in the witness box and gave a character reference for me. So it totally blew the judge away. He didn't know what to make of it. And I believe it's only that saved me from going to prison, because other people went to prison for the same offence.
How angry do you feel now, knowing everything that has gone wrong with this computer system, Horizon?
Well, I'm absolutely furious, because there's still there's still a culture of denial, and well, it wasn't me, it was him, and well, it was somebody, and hopefully we'll get to the bottom of it. And they're still refusing to compensate the group that took them to court, the 555 that took them to court in the first place, which is the only reason why some of us have got our conviction squashed and had an interim payment. It's not right. They're just fighting it all the way, in spite of the PR that comes out of the post office. They are still trying to limit the damage.
Joel Hamilton, thanks for your time today. We wish you well. The hearing gets underway here at 11 a.m. and still not one person from Post Office has accepted responsibility for what went wrong. The beginning of all the human impact statements today, and this may well take into next year before we get a resolution.
Enza, thanks for that. Okay, some other stories for you now. And the UK and Scottish governments have agreed there will be 2 green free ports north of the border ahead of a visit to Scotland by Boris Johnson today. The special economic zones will offer tax breaks and lower tariffs for businesses as part of the UK government's levelling up agenda. Another free port in Wales is expected to be announced shortly. London's 4th largest airport, Luton, is expected to reach about 70% of its pre-pandemic levels this week as people make the most of February half-term and the relaxation of travel restrictions. The boost in numbers comes ahead of the launch of the airport's new light rail link, DART, which aims to transport travellers from central London via the new light railway to airport check-in in about half an hour. Banks are braced for a backlash as they prepare to pay annual bonuses of more than £4 billion at a time when customers are facing a cost of living crisis. On NatWest, Barclays, HSBC and Lloyds Banking Group are expected to report total profits of £34 billion and bumper bonus payouts in their 2021 results over the next 2 weeks. Well, still to come on Ian King Live. I'll speak to the owner of a sustainable activewear label whose business has leapt to speedy success.
I'm Alex Crawford and I'm Sky's special correspondent based in Istanbul. We aim to be the best and the most trusted place for news.
I'm Inzamam Rashid and I'm Sky's North of England correspondent, telling stories from this culturally rich region I call home.
If the Taliban found your family, what would happen?
I think they're just going to straight away execute them.
There are issues of racism in all levels of cricket.
I was on the balcony a couple of times. I was nearly gone.
Football is a joy to watch. When people are disappointed, you can feel the hate.
I've always tried to put people at the heart of the story, like hearing from young women who've been spiked via injections.
I just felt physically sick. That's really in my system.
Men, they want to force you doing something which you don't want to do just because you're homeless.
We give a voice to communities often unheard and unserved from a region with a distinct history and global impact.
Welcome back. Employers expect to increase staff wages by 3%, which would be the highest rise in around 9 years. But that still won't keep up with inflation, according to the survey by the Chartered Institute of Personnel and Development. It's claimed workers who are members of a trade union could earn tens of thousands of pounds more than those who aren't. The TUC says that union members' pay packets are 5% higher on average. Staff at 44 universities are expected to walk out today, beginning up to 10 days of strike action. The University and College Union says it's because of cuts to pensions, along with deteriorating pay and working conditions. The walkouts are planned to take place at different universities over the next 3 weeks. Well, my next guest is a fitness influencer turned businesswoman who has secured £4.2 million of funding for her sustainable activewear brand, Tala. It's made over £10 million in sales so far since Tala was created in 2019. Well, let's speak to Grace Beverley, who is the Chief Executive and founder of Tala. Good morning to you. You worked in the industry for quite some time, didn't you? And then you felt like you'd spotted this gap in the market.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'd worked in the fitness industry for a good few years before launching Tala, and the activewear industry has been booming for a long time, and it just seemed absolutely insane that when it came to sustainable activewear, despite sustainability and activewear both being booming industries, there was no kind of middle ground that intersected the two at a price point that was accessible for the majority of people who wanted to buy it.
And tell us about that price point. How do you actually manage that? Because I saw on your website you're saying that it's sustainably produced, it's good on performance, flattering fit, but without the hefty price tag.
Yeah, absolutely. So look, there's no set way that we kind of say, you know, this needs to be within this range, this needs to be within this range. But when you look at sustainable activewear, you're looking at 2.5 times the price usually for a pair of leggings compared to non-sustainable equivalent. And that to us just doesn't make sense at all, especially when you're encouraging people to make better purchasing decisions when they do decide to buy something. So when we're looking at our pricing structure, it completely depends on the materials and the performance and all of that, but it very much comes down to looking at what competitors within the non-sustainable space are offering it for, and we try and get very, very close to that price point so that people don't have to compromise making better decisions and getting access.
Who is your competition then, would you say?
Well, it's really interesting because if you look at the industry, we sit closer to the non-sustainable side, actually on that kind of on that price point. So we have that competition based on the non-sustainable activewear brands that we really try and go against in terms of performance, fits, colours, everything, and their price. But then our sustainable credentials really compete with those that are at around, you know, 100 to 150 pounds for some of their pieces. So there's no one that's really doing sustainable activewear at our price point.
You've been self-funding until now. Why was now the right time to seek outside investment for you?
Well, I think, you know, we've really, really enjoyed being self-funded, and it's been really helpful for our growth and really establishing exactly who we are as a brand and not compromising that. And moving forwards, that's exactly what we plan to do and exactly what this race has all been about, in order to actually, you know, get just the right people around the table with the right experience, both internally and in terms of advisory boards, etc., and gather all the resources to actually really take this industry by storm. You know, we're about disrupting. We want to make better options for people who want to make better decisions, and that requires a lot of resources. So now seems like exactly the right time, especially after we've really proved the concept and the product market fit.
Yeah, it's not just about sustainable production, is it? You're about ethical production as well. You have a hashtag, it's cool to be kind. When we talk about cheaper pricing, we often think that comes with perhaps compromised ethics behind the scenes. You know, as a correspondent abroad, I've also covered, you know, modern day slavery, situations in factories which are pretty appalling. How do you ensure those standards are met and you can answer to your investors and your people buying your products?
Yeah, well, it's very much a case-by-case basis, and this is something that's been part of our ethos from the beginning. It hasn't been a kind of add-on. It's not something, you know, neither the sustainability or the ethics are something that we kind of sprinkle on top at the end. We find that the most important thing when talking about sustainability and ethics is really transparency. So ensuring that we actually have access to that information on our websites, talking about where each piece is made, why we chose that factory. Each time we choose a new factory, we introduce it to our audience with an entire Instagram post, say why we've chosen it, what their credentials are, and really using external auditing as well to make sure that those credentials are met.
Yeah, so is social media been a real friend of yours through this then?
Absolutely. I mean, the activewear industry has seen a huge boom, many thanks to social media within that. So it's been hugely helpful for us. And it's also a platform where, you know, a lot of the times our margins have had to be compromised in part to be able to access that price point whilst also taking those sustainable and ethical credentials. So being able to have organic marketing that doesn't have that huge marketing cost within there has been incredibly important for us.
Ian says that business seems to be in your blood. Your grandfather used to run Trafalgar House.
Yes, that's true.
Okay, well, Grace Beverley, good luck with everything at Tala. Thanks very much indeed.
Thank you.
Okay, we've got some breaking news for you now, and Wizz Air have released a statement on their flights to Ukraine. They say Wizz Air continues to closely monitor the situation in Ukraine. Currently, we have not made any changes to our schedule, and all of our flights to and from Ukraine continue to operate as normal. It goes on, all passengers with booked flights to and from Ukraine are advised to regularly check their mailboxes for further information about booked flights. So that statement from Wizz Air on the Ukraine crisis, their flights will continue for now. Let's take a look at the markets for you now. And first up, the exchanges in Asia. The markets there have been largely down on the first day of the trading week, largely because of fears of conflict in Ukraine. In Europe, shares hit their lowest level in almost 3 weeks, with banking and auto stocks leading the slump there. Travel stocks are bearing the brunt, though, with IAG and TUI down 7% or so. Wizz Air, we just had a statement from them, off 9%. Uncertainty in Europe is putting people off holiday bookings, and disruption to airspace, of course, is also to blame. Well, the FTSE right now is down by 1.88%. The foreign exchange market's also cautious this morning. The pound is at £1 to $1.35 and €1.19. Oil prices steady this morning after hitting their highest in more than 7 years on fears of a possible Russian invasion could trigger US and European sanctions that would disrupt exports from one of the world's top oil producers. Brent crude is currently trading at 94.55. Still to come on Ian King Live. I'll be talking about the special relationship between hairdressers and their clients with the stylist to the stars, Larry King.
To Gabby Dave Global. We are a UK-based online e-commerce store, the first of its kind with license to trade in African products. Some of the products are clothing brands and all beauty accessories, hair and beauty brands, natural aphrodisiacs, processed and dried unprocessed food. Our mission at Gabby Dave is to connect African and Caribbean businesses to customers globally. At Gabby Dave, we ensure our sellers get the best deal for their products. We are not just here to help you reach a wider audience. We are also a distribution center to support business growth by fulfilling orders to your customers from our warehouse, making sure customers receive their products on time. We are inviting all Black-owned businesses to trade on our platform because we strongly believe Africans have a unique brand the customer would appreciate globally. So get in touch today and let us make your product and business go far. Here are some of the benefits of using Gabby Dave Global. User-friendly platform, track your shipment, online support, transparent process, multiple SKUs, multiple products, a platform that encourages manufacturers as well as traders. Our marketing and PR interventions amplifies yours. Organized products and categories for easy access and navigation. Access to global community, especially within UK and Europe.
One's in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Tune in to On Point here on Star Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Star Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. The whole of darkness.
So what did that
myself and the world will adjust. And 2019,
forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on the CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Star Radio.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
It's your ma. Bekutu, show them you got the cocoa set. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Harry Song, aka Mr. Songs. This is the King Makeup about for the girls. We're here. This is Star Radio. Don't go nowhere. UK, London. We they call them London for who? For here, we they call them London. And that's how you know. Just have fun and stay blessed.
Hi there, this is CJ Buckman, your life coach. And whenever I'm in London, I listen to Star Radio UK right here. But guess what? You can listen to wherever you are.
All around the world. In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
This is Star Radio UK. Are you ready to turn it up?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. Hey there, this is Archie.
One finger in the air, everybody. Oh,
In your car,
At work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK. Are you ready to turn it up?
Oh yes, I'm feeling high this morning wherever you are. I hope you're also feeling very, very high. You don't need no smoke, no nothing. You don't need anything to high you. You know, you have the Spirit of God in you to high yourself. It is a good day, of course.
I need no weed, I need no smoke. I got the Holy Ghost.
Something from Makasibrin Pong. And let me take this opportunity to say happy Valentine's Day to each and every one of you listening to us. We love you all to bits. But you know, I say it all the time that I don't need one day to show my love to somebody. No. I have to show my love to somebody or to you every time I have the opportunity. Every day, anywhere, every time I have the opportunity, I need to show love. But well, let me say a happy Valentine's Day to each and every one of you once again. Today is the 14th day of February, the year 2022. Somebody said that, well, we all know the date already. Time now 10:40 from the House of London. I remain yours sincerely, the one and only.
This is the morning show with Archie.
And I hope that you are enjoying this program this morning and you had a very nice weekend.
Burning inside, I need no weed, I need no.
So let me say good morning to my colleagues, Mr. Frank Davis, Mr. Olayomi, Kojo D, Felix all the way in Aberdeen, HRH Linda Pallien all the way in Cyprus, and to the one and only Mr. Francis Guy, our able producer. I salute you all. And to all, especially the women presenters on the program on Starr Radio UK, we salute you all. Lots of love to you all. We say good morning and happy Valentine's Day to Empress Queen Regina Enima. Hope you are doing very well. Vicky Newton, it was your birthday yesterday. Happy belated birthday to you. Hope you had a very nice day. And the boss man himself, Mr. Newton, treated you to the best. You know, we know that he can do that for you.
Inside, I need no weed, I need no smoke.
Okie dokie do. Starr Radio UK. 10:41. And we're going to be cracking on. If it is the first time of tuning in to listen to us on the Starr Radio UK morning show on Mondays, this is how the program goes. I'm going to bring you the quote for the day, the weather forecast will follow suit, then the travel update as well. We then move on from there to have a look at some of the stories making the rounds across the globe, known as Global Trotting. At 11 o'clock, we'll have Ms. Olayomi who will be joining in to bring you updates from Nigeria. And we continue from there as well to look at some of the stories making the rounds during the course of the program. At 12 o'clock, the lines are open for you to add your voice to the discussions. Continuing from there to 12:40, where we'll be having the one and only HRH Linda Pallien all the way from Cyprus, bringing you Career 101 with lots of love.
I need no weed, I need no
Then at 1 o'clock, the curtains are brought down for the end of the program. So in a gist, that is how it's going to be. Let me say a special happy Valentine's Day to my lovely wife, Lottie. I hope you are doing very, very well as well. But a special happy Valentine and good morning to Shina Yusuf. Shina Yusuf says, good morning. You were the first person to join the program and we salute you for that. Say good job there and good job to you too for joining us each day. Olayomi, let me say happy good morning to you and happy Valentine's Day to you. Nice to have you on board once again. To our listeners in the US, those of you in Europe, those of you in Asia, those of you in Australia, those of you on the African continent, we salute you, especially those of you in Nigeria, Ghana, Uganda, Kenya, and Gambia. Hey. Guys, don't worry, you'll be seeing us pretty soon. So we welcome you all once again. Okay, let's crack on. 10:43 the time. The quote for the day says, every excellent organization will spend a great deal of time to make successful if your values match theirs. Now, every excellent organization will spend a great deal of time to make you successful if your values match theirs. So, if you're going to be working with an organization, you have to make sure that your values lines up with theirs, and then they make sure that you are successful, because when you are becoming successful, they also become successful. In a nutshell. Okay. Well, this morning seems to be a very nice, dry, sunny day here in London and the southeast of England. I'm not saying that it's hot though. That's not what I'm saying. Okay, so what is it for us, those of you in London and southeast of England? This afternoon will be cloudy and wet with patchy outbreaks of rain moving in from the west. It will start turning drier in the late afternoon with some clear spells developing. Tonight will start with patchy cloud dissipating to reveal dry and clear conditions for more of much of the night. Now towards dawn, thick cloud will build in from the west. The top temperature is going to be 10 degrees, the lowest is going to be 2 degrees. UV level is going to be low, pollution low, sunset 17:13. Sunrise for tomorrow morning's 07:17 hours. So that brings us to the end of the weather forecast. Now let's move on straight to the travel updates, and then we can continue with the music. Don't you worry, I need no weed, I need no smoke. Okay. Ja. Okay, I'm going to bring you more on that front, but stay tuned. Let's take a quick break and I'll bring you the travel updates.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Check it out.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Okay, so keep your eyes on the roads, I'll keep you navigated. I promise I'll born the Starr Radio travel update that comes your way every weekday from 10:40. It's now 10:46. What is your travels like wherever you are listening to us from across the globe? It will help somebody, you know for sure, because we are a global radio station. But now, let's look at what is happening here in the UK.
Check it out.
Now in London on the underground today, the Northern Line is partly suspended, partly closed, and severe delays on it as well from Saturday the 15th of January until mid-May, as I've been announcing. 2022, no service between Moorgate and Kennington. Now, Northern Line, no service between Kennington and Moorgate due to planned engineering works. No service between Kennington and Battersea Power Station, and severe delays on the rest of the line, while emergency services deal with a casualty on the track. Tickets are being accepted on local buses Southeastern and Thames Lane. Well, London Tramlink has also got issues. And let me say good morning to Sister Gina. Yesterday she was saying there's so much issues with the tram. Well, they have to do that. Now from 06:30, that was Saturday, until 23:30 on Sunday, and 20th February, no service between Wandle Park and it's crowded. So please check before you leave. If there is a plan of you to use that means, please check before you leave. That aside, all the underground services are in good service. London Overground, TFL Rail, DLR, good service there as well. Now moving on straight to the river bus. Apart from the Woolwich Railway that suspended due to strike by workers there or industrial action, all the others have got good service. Now on the National Rail this morning, cross country, East Midlands Railway, First Transpenna and Express, Grand Central, Great Northern have all got special service. Also Great Western Railway, Great Anglia, London North Eastern Railway, Southern Thames Link have all got special service there as well. So all that you have to do is check before you leave. But keep your eyes on the roads. Keep your eyes on the roads. I'm keeping navigated. I promise. I'm moving on straight to the final segment of the travel update. That's the major roads in London. A12 has got closures. A316 closures. A4 closures. Central London Red Routes closures there as well. That aside, all the others, no exceptional delays, especially when the schools in London are on half term. What about that? Or in England? Well, so I say, well. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you, wherever you might be on planet Earth. Enjoy your comments for today. But you know what? Continue to keep those eyes on the road.
Welcome to Gabby Dave Global. We are a UK-based online e-commerce store, the first of its kind with license to trade in African products. Some of the products are clothing brands and all beauty accessories, hair and beauty brands, natural aphrodisiacs, processed and dried unprocessed food. Our mission at Gabby Dave is to connect African and Caribbean businesses to customers globally. At Gabby Dave, we ensure our sellers get the best deal for their products. We are not just here to help you reach a wider audience. We are also a distribution center to support business growth by fulfilling orders to your customers from our warehouse, making sure customers receive their products on time. We are inviting all Black-owned businesses to trade on our platform because we strongly believe Africans have a unique brand the customer would appreciate globally. So get in touch today and let us make your product and business go far. Here are some of the benefits of using Gabby Dave Global. User-friendly platform, track your shipment, online support, transparent process, multiple SKUs, multiple products, a platform that encourages manufacturers as well as traders. Our marketing and PR interventions amplifies yours. Organized products and categories for easy access and navigation. Access to global community, especially within UK and Europe.
In your car,
At work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
Burning inside. I need no weed, I need no smoke, 'cause I got the Holy Ghost. Hey, I need no weed, I need no smoke, 'cause I got the Holy Ghost burning inside. I need no weed, I need no smoke, 'cause I got the Holy Ghost. Hey, I'm feeling high. 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 Everybody, help me say.
in your car,
At work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
Holy Ghost burning inside. I need no weed, I need no smoke.
Okay, welcome back to the program Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bringing the time now to 10:52, 8 minutes to the top of the hour, and it's now time for Global Trotting. Well, let me bring you a gist of what we're going to be looking at when it comes to Nigeria. Chief Chief Sunday Igboho's aide, abducted by thugs during invasion of his house, has been killed. This corpse in hotel of Oyo Transport Manager Auxiliary source is saying that the chairman of the Oyo State Motor Park Managers, Mukala Lamidi, popularly called Auxiliary, is keeping the remains of the murdered aide of Yoruba Nation agitator Sunday Igboho in his Diamond Hotel. Well, we'll be looking into that story once we have Mr. Olayomi joining in. Now, Igboho has filed a 570 million naira suit against Benin Republic for unlawful detention, violation of his rights. Well, last week we were talking about the fact that, well, the lawyers were saying that, look, everything is working well, blah, 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 but it looks like he's thinking otherwise and has gone to file a suit against them. And the Nigerian University lecturers ASU declares total national strike. The academic staff of the Union University has declared a nation strike. So this and a lot more we're going to be looking at. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu not happy with the distractors action, caused Biafran to respect his leadership structures. Okay, we'll be bringing you more on that. He's in incarceration at the moment, so is his leadership or his authority winning? Well, you want to know more about that? Stay tuned, don't you go anywhere. But share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages. As I said, to those of you who listen to us all the way in Africa, where it causes an arm and a leg to get data. Oh my goodness. I salute you all. I say thank you very much for your unwavering support. Now in the UK, inquiry to examine post office wrongful convictions. More than 700 postmasters and mistresses were wrongly convicted due to a flawed computer system. Now, who will be held culpable for that action that took place and the fact that people were incarcerated? Well, 2 green free ports to be established in Scotland. The Scottish and UK government agreed a deal as Boris Johnson is expected to visit Scotland. And 13 people injured after a bar floor collapse. Now, one man who was trapped under the rubble at the East London bar says he feared he was going to die. And one breaking news and a serious one. Jail absconder is dangerous sex offender, the police are saying. Paul Robson, who is said to have jumped bail or broken out of prison. Let me put it out there. Paul Robson, 56, is serving a life sentence for attempted rape and indecent assault. But he is broken jail. So, if you see him, approach with caution. HMRC sees this NFT for first time in £1.4 million fraud case. The tax authority says it is the first time UK law enforcement body to seize a non-fungible token. What do you mean by a non-fungible token? We're going to be looking into that, so that if somebody's giving you a gift or something, you know what to do. Now, moving on straight to some of the other stories making the round. Well, over the weekend, we had Americans, the American president, they're coming in, or the American intelligence saying that, well, the attack on Ukraine could take place on Wednesday. Well, but we still have the Russians saying that we're not going to be doing anything. Meanwhile, the exercise is going on at the borders of Ukraine. Are they just burning on flames of war? Or is it just like the Second World War when... when people were flaming the rumors of war, and others were saying that there's not going to be war, and then we have Hitler saying, I'm not going to be attacking, and then he attacks this one, and and then what's going on? Is it the same thing? Is it the same template? What is happening exactly? Is Russia actually going to invade Ukraine? And would the West now say that, look, okay, I'm into for store peace. Ukraine will not give Ukraine the opportunity to join NATO. And that will appease them. But who is going to back down? None seem to be ready to do so. But the Ukrainians are seeking a meeting with the Russians within 48 hours. Ukraine accuses Russia of ignoring requests to explain its troop building up and calls for a meeting. Well, they know that they can just do whatever they want to do. So why did they want to listen to you or meet you? They're going to tell you when they meet you that we have got a trump card. So look, you better set up or behave yourself or else. The Canada bridge protest had dreaded. Please have cleared the costly bridge blockade at Windsor 2 weeks after 2 weeks of protest about to end. Well, Kodak Black is stable after shooting. Lawyers say his lawyer has said it was an unprovoked attack against someone that the rapper was with. New Zealand protesters stand strong in face of Baby Shark. New Zealand authorities use music to try and disperse a week-long vaccine mandate protest. Use all means possible. That's what they try to do. Or that's using all means possible. Now, when it comes to the African continent, Mozambique withdraws textbook over sex topics row. The book for 12 years old has a page on sexual orientation and masturbation. Now, at what age do you reckon that we have to talk about sex? Or do you think that maybe with our children? Or do you think that maybe we should let them grow up and find out by themselves? But back in the day when we were growing up, there wasn't anything of that sort. You can't get it. There wasn't anything of pornography and all that. No, I'm not saying that there wasn't. There was, but the availability for a child to see that was quite rare. Well, mystery depends over drug trafficking coup plot. Now, some are questioning whether Guinea-Bissau president was really the target of a coup attempt. We'll bring you more on that front. It's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. I'm feeling high this morning. An ICC hears appeal of Uganda LRA Commander Ongwen. Well, the banter between the Ashantis and the Bonos continues, where the Bono Doma Hene is saying that, look, we existed before you people were formed. 130 years before we were gathered together to form a nation or a kingdom. And it's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. Now, customers' appetite for online banking reduces because of what? E-levy. And then hashtag Fix the Country convener has been charged with treason, felony, and has been remanded. Remember myself and Kojo, we were talking about that sometime last week when we said that statement that he made, he didn't think through it properly. You don't put all your cards on the table. You keep some close to your chest. Well, he did that. Now, what is going to be the actions? That's one thing that we need to know. An innocent person has nothing to fear. A sin not MP says. Some people say they need a little. And the NDC are saying press freedom. Akufo-Addo speaks from both sides of his mouth. How many sides of our mouth have we got? The left and the right. He said, well, the president speaks from both sides of his mouth. The Opposition National Democratic Congress, NDC, has urged President Akufo-Addo to halt what they describe as a continuous attack on freedom of speech in the country. But if somebody says, I'm going to see to that I'll be the convener of a coup d'etat, do you think that is freedom of speech, that people should be allowed to make such statements? Well. It is a minute after 11. Enjoy the rest of the music, and I'll be having Mr. Olayomi joining in pretty soon, and we're going to be looking at what is happening in Nigeria via updates from Nigeria. Starr Radio UK.
I'm feeling high. 'cause I got the Holy Ghost. I need no weed, need no smoke, I got the Holy Ghost burning inside. I need no weed, I need no smoke.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Monday mornings I do feel high, but I feel high because I know you are there listening to us, and after a long weekend where we don't have the chance of having a chat with you or being together, we miss you a great deal, and therefore when we come your way, we want to make sure that hey, we have the best of times. But well, I've got Mr. Olayomi Koiki, who is also feeling high. Not feeling high because he's got anything, but feeling high because he knows that he has got you this morning, where we're going to be having a chat this morning. It is all Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to 5 minutes past the top of the hour. A Valentine's Day special program here on Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, let's move on straight to North London, where we have Mr. Olayomi Koiki all seated and ready to fire on all cylinders. And let me say, Yomi, good morning and happy Valentine's Day to you.
Very good morning to you, Mr. Archie. Good morning to all our listeners and viewers. Happy Valentine to my loved ones. Happy Valentine to all our listeners. And thank you for being part of the program this morning. After a very long weekend, like you said, it's good to be back again on a Monday morning with quite a lot of news that we have ready to give to you, our viewers from different parts of the globe.
Yes. How are you doing and how was your weekend?
Well, it was an hectic one because of the situation back at Chief Sunday Igbowo's house, that we have to be on the very, concentration, especially one person was eventually killed. We're going to be discussing all that. But it was a very long weekend. I had to take almost the whole day yesterday engaging in all kind of meetings and communication back with different groups and different people around the globe. But it's good to be back again. This morning on Starr Radio UK.
Yes, listeners, Mr. Olayomi Koiki for you in the North London studios. I'm Archie here in the South studios, and we are bringing you updates from Nigeria. Let me say good morning to Anthony Adedeji and a happy Valentine's Day to you too there. Okay, now let's crack on. Now, Yomi, can you give us a bit of a background to what is happening to Sunday Igboho? Because sometime last week, we were having a discussion and we're saying that, well, the first 6 months has elapsed and now he's applying for a second one. We're looking at the UN convention where if somebody is a political prisoner and it comes to your country, you need to and applies for political asylum, it needs to be granted that and given the necessary protection that they need. But it seems like just over some few days or few hours, everything is like seem to have turned upside down. What has gone on there? And then we can come to what is happening in the death of one of his the people that were abducted with him. Over to you.
Well, if you know that yes, last week we were reviewing the 6 months that a lot of people thought was a kind of a sentence, which I had to explain that it's part of the the political asylum application, and that doesn't mean that Benin Republic have literally slammed a 6 month sentence, on top of the already 6 months that Chief Sunday Igboho has spent in Benin Republic. But what I can confirm again this morning is after some of the different groups are doing different things, and then it's very important that we put all the arsenal out there to get him out as quickly as possible. So there is a particular group that have come up with a legal team that have decided to go into the ECOWAS, to file what we call a lawsuit against Benin Republic for holding Chief Sunday Igboho without any charges as well. So that is actually what has led to the news that have also come out this morning in most of the media. Sorry, let's release the audio from the other link as well. I just realized that the link has not got the audio out, but I believe we should be out now fully. Yes. So what actually happened is last week Friday we had a town hall meeting which engaged some of these legal practitioners that filed this application with ECOWAS back in Abuja. Remember, Abuja owns the the headquarters of ECOWAS. So that has literally gone very well, we can say, and that is where the headline has come out this morning, to indicate that all is not yet over, because Benin Republic would then have to start paying an equivalent about $1 million for every day since they've held Chief Sunday Igboho, should he not be released as quickly as possible. So that has been the case. I'll be giving a little bit background to the case, but that actually was something that was prepared, and that actually has now led to this headline says Igboho files $570 million lawsuit against the Benin Republic for unlawful detention. That is just the first one, because I can also confirm that there is another platform that is raising a £50,000 equivalent for Chief Sunday Igboho. The platform is known as Mayegun Political. It is a platform that has been well established for the last 10 years, and some of the fans on that particular page have requested that he should go ahead and raise a £50,000 on their behalf, which they will be contributing. Chief Sunday Igboho has given a consent to that. So that itself has not even come up yet, but in under 11 hours that was set up, a £10,000 has already been raised.
Wow, that's a good one. That's a good one. To every one of you who want to support, it doesn't matter whether you come from the Yoruba, or you come from Nigeria, or you come from the wherever. But if you see people fighting a worthy cause and you can support them, please do your best to support them. That's why Starr Radio UK will give the platform for all this information to be made known, so that anyone, you could be in Afghanistan or wherever you are listening to us from, if there's a need for that support to be given to you, we are here to give that to you. Okay, so far as you are fighting a worthy cause. Let me say good morning to Amayo Ajerigene. Amayo, I hope you are doing very, very well. Okay, so now let's do you think that okay, Amayo says injustice to one, injustice to all. That's what he's looking at. He's looking at the case against Chief Sunday. But my question here is, do you think that this legal step that or the suit that Sunday Igboho's aides have filed against the Benin Republic is going to work against him, or do you think it could expedite? Because maybe normally, because nothing has been done, the Beninois will be ready to put things together to make sure that whether he has to a hearing or anything that will take place so that he can be released. However, with this stance now where he's going to take a legal action, a suit of $1 million against them, They will think, okay, let's just quickly maybe just chuck him back to Nigeria or give him to the Nigerian authorities to do whatever with them, because they will not want their hands or their finances that they are also struggling with to be to have any negative impact at all. So what do you think there?
Well, it's an advantage for Benin Republic government, because already we do know that Nigeria has become the bully in this particular case. Nigeria, because we know is using his might, to suppress, the government of Benin, not to allow, Chief Sunday Igboho to be released. So by going to the ECOWAS court, it's an advantage for Benin Republic, because they can easily say, it's no longer in our hands, because, this case has now literally left the shore of Benin Republic, which is the advantage. So it's not a disadvantage to Chief Sunday Igboho. It's literally an advantage for him to have a case heard. Some are in doubt that Benin, that ECOWAS seems to also have a control from Nigeria government. But we got to also remember that, as much as that might be of influence, it's also a kind of, to say that nothing will be left untouched to make sure that Chief Sunday Igboho is released from his, incapacity for the last 6 months in the hands of Benin Republic. His case has never gone back to the court. So what they've literally done is they've kept him in the bar. Likewise, they've allowed him to sign what we called another 6 months to say, we will continue to make sure that your security and your welfare and healthcare will be well taken care of. Yes, we are in communication with him on the ground there, but he still needs to be taken out of Benin Republic for a better healthcare, because he's been there for 6 months, and you can imagine if somebody has been kept for 6 months without, the kind of activities that he used to, then even if he's not of anything, he needs to be checked. Especially, we've got to remember, it was just under 19 days after his house was attacked. 2 people were killed, a cat was killed, 12 innocent people were moved out of the premises. The last person spent almost 4 months or thereabout, and likewise the same thing. So it's a pressure now on Benin Republic, because they will be receiving the first file of this application, I believe, within the next 24-48 hours, because already the case has been filed in Abuja at the ECOWAS headquarters.
Well, we know how the ECOWAS headquarters and how the ECOWAS leaders operate, but I hope that justice will prevail, hopefully. Okay, listen to Starr Radio UK. Now let's move on to the other story, where a sad story pertaining to one of Sunday Igboho's aides, who is said to have been killed or in a murdered, and it's in somebody's hotel. I mean, how plausible is that? I mean, what is all that about?
Well, it was on a Saturday when news started filtering out from Ibadan, Soka, to where Chief Sunday Igboho's residence is. And what actually happened was, we have these different kind of talks that works with the impunity of believing that they believe that they own the state. It's not just in your state. We have them in Lagos State, and we have them in all the, the Southwest, and likewise, these are politicians' talks. And there was a particular one called Mukaila, also known aka Auxiliary. He works on behalf of the governor of Oyo State, which we categorically can say, because Seyi Makinde is the governor of Oyo State. But this person has been working as one of the park manager in the state. So what actually happened was, some of his boys decided that they would not allow anyone to put on any outfit that has Chief Sunday Igboho's wear, or any outfit that has the Yoruba Nation outfit. They are not security, but they've decided that they would do that because they have that, privilege of the government support in that particular state in the Southwest. So on Saturday, one person was sent to pick up, was about to, the job he does is, air condition repair. So he literally put in the gas in the vehicle. So what then happened was, he was stabbed in the neck. There was a kind of a reinforcement from Chief Sunday Igboho's house to quickly find out what was going on. But it doesn't seem that they will be prepared for what will be unleashed on them. There was also some police officer on the ground that decided to look away, and then one person was gunned down. There was multiple injuries. Some of them, as I speak to you, are still receiving treatment at the hospital.
Now, so how can
and you've got to remember, as of 3 weeks ago, information or intelligent that we had the fact and the information reach us, not just here in UK, but outside the country and inside Nigeria as well, that they were going to come down to burn the house down. So there was a kind of extra security at Chief Sunday Igboho's house in the last 3 weeks. So those were the extra team that went out to try to rescue these people that have been attacked, but they didn't realize that they were kind of an ambush, and eventually one person was gone dead.
Now let's look at first of all the case that Sunday Igboho suit of the what do you call them, the security agency, and the ruling by the court that he needs to be compensated an amount. Do you know whether that amount has been paid to Sunday Igboho?
Are you talking about the one from the Nigerian government?
Yeah.
Well, at the moment, what they're doing now is, the lawyers are trying to now, enforce the Central Bank of Nigeria, to lock that 20 billion naira, so that, in case, the government might become, out of any kind of cash. So that is actually still ongoing. But that is still a court case. I think they're going back to the court next month, 14th of March, for that particular, 20 billion. Cash, 20 billion that was awarded back to Chief Sunday Igboho for his damage of his property and the lives, that took place on the 1st of July last year.
So because I picked that up because I'm looking at the fact that even the destruction that happened to his property had not been compensated for yet. So how come that some people go now to threaten that they're going to burn the whole edifice, down? And somebody who was trying to defend that people who end up being hurt and one person killed.
Well, you've got to remember, just like Nnamdi Kanu, these two faces, and likewise Omoyele Sowore, have become a threat to most of the politicians, especially that the election is getting closer. So they will do everything, to make sure that as much as Chief Sunday Igboho is held in Benin Republic in 6 months, also to make sure that those that are still clamoring, because what they actually told those people that were attacked was, you are those individuals that have been part of the Yoruba nation and also part of those that have insisted that election will not hold in Nigeria, in as much as we do know that is the legal process, is not an arms way, is not a violent way, because a legal option will be filed in Nigeria, in Ekiti and Osun State, based on the fraudulent military decree 1999 constitution. That is the route that we are using, to stop the election, not a violent way. So the attack was based on the fact that these people know that these individuals are part of Chief Sunday Igboho's team, indirectly or directly, and they were attacked. But like I said, there was another extra ambush that led to multiple injuries, and one person has been killed. And as I speak to you right now, nobody from the Oyo State government, neither the CP, the Commissioner for Police, have said anything, because like I said, auxiliary Mukaila work with the state government, and we have evidence to that as well.
So what evidence do you have that the body is still in auxiliary's hotel?
Well, when the body was killed, they moved the body out, from the street where it was killed by these particular people working for auxiliary, and like we said, the body is still yet recovered. It's not the first time that this particular person has committed an offense. Let's take you back to the previous governor of Oyo State, is the late now Ajimobi. He literally locked up this gentleman for all the duration while he was the governor, because of the same atrocity and the killing that he has done. After he left, the APC lost the government and the PDP came in, and as quickly as possible, Seyi Makinde released him and also compensated him. Just as you probably will know, for reason known to him, he's now also the park manager. So the body still be with him, just like the body of the two people that died during the invasion of Chief Sunday Igboho's house is still with the federal government. So the only difference this one is with the state government, but also somebody working on behalf of the governor.
Well, we hope that the family or the Yoruba leaders there will see to it that maybe they approach the governor or the federal government for them to seek redress from there, because you cannot just kill somebody and just take the person's body, go put it in your house or in your wherever you are storing that person's body. It doesn't belong to you, it belongs to a particular people, and this person or this group of people who did this are not part of the state security apparatus. They are not. They are private entities who have gone on to behave unruly like that.
Well, you're quite right. the kind of impunity, we have one as well in Lagos State called MC Olayomi, is the chairman of the National Union for Road Transport Workers, and they have this privilege because of the support they're getting from the corrupt politicians that have decided to hold the strangle of millions of Yorubas and millions of Nigerians as well that are living in some of these states. And there was a video of a chairman of the tricycle that came out last week in one of the mainstream media, on a video that says that his life was threatened by the same individual called MC Olayomi in Lagos, while he was again kind of laid an ambush when they were meant to have a meeting. The videos out there for the members of the public that might want to see that is on the Punch News Media on Facebook. This was just only last week Friday when he came out to shout that his life was under threat by MC Olayomi. So we have them in Osun State, we have them in Kwara. These are individuals that work with some of these politicians, and you can imagine they become a terror of their own to the citizens within the confinement of each of the states.
Well, listeners, it's Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing you updates from Nigeria with Mr. Olayomi in the North London studios. Mr. Frank Davis is with me in the studio here. We'll be bringing him on in a moment. But Yomi, let's digress a bit. Now, just in case Sunday Igboho is released from prison in Benin and decides to come to Nigeria, do you think that he would love to run for the election? Because he's now famous. Looking at the population of the Yoruba people. Now, if they decide that, yes, we all want to, because we know that he's singing the song that we are also singing, do you think that he will want to stand for the election, either whether governorship or maybe presidential?
Well, I'm going to speak as the spokesman of Chief Sunday Igboho, that categorically he has said is of no interest to the Nigerian politics, not today, not yesterday, not 5 years ago, not 7 years ago, and not at present. He doesn't have any interest to have anything to do with the current political state in Nigeria. All his demand is he wants his people to be free and have a privilege to have what they call their own independent nation out of what we call Nigeria. And that is being done not through violence, not through any kind of destruction, but through a peaceful means that is allowed under the United Nations Charter of Self-Determination, which he has continued to demand. So if Sunday Adeyemo Igboho doesn't have any interest to run, contest for any election in Nigeria or any election that will be run on his behalf, because we do know some people might be thinking of that, but he has categorically said that, and I'm speaking again as a spokesman for him, that he is and he won't contest for any election in Nigeria.
Okay, listen to Starr Radio UK. We've got Frank. Let me come to Frank. Frank, good morning and happy Valentine's Day to you.
Good morning to all our listeners.
Quite a lot of feedback. Not sure why. We're getting some feedback.
Those with my love, we wish them happy Valentine's.
Is it better now, Yomi?
Not too bad, but we see.
Okay. All right. I'll up my voice a bit.
Okay, there seems to be some noise in there, but don't you worry. We'll try to see once the technical team try to sort that out. Now, Frank, I'm looking at this situation where I'm looking at Sunday Igboho being that popular, looking at everything that is going on, being somebody who is fighting for his community, Do you think that if he is, he's filed a suit against the Beninois at the moment, 1 million in the ECOWAS court in Nigeria.
Yeah.
But if it happens that he's let out and he decides to come to Nigeria, and then with his popularity and everything that he's standing for, that is somebody who actually has the interest of his community. Don't you think that maybe the wise thing would be for him to run a political for a political office?
Archie, it's a very, very dicey situation. In the first place, Olayomi, did Sunday actually went to court in Benin, suing Beninois authorities at a court in Benin?
You mean with the current update that we're giving now?
Yeah. Did he explore any legal option within?
Oh yes, the legal option currently in Benin Republic has been put on stall because there is no any update, because the judges there says the president practiced alone has the final say, and that is why they are now using the route of the ECOWAS.
Okay.
And there's another legal aid that is now being set up by Mayegun Political Diary. About £10,000 was raised about 11 hours, and they'll also be putting out a legal option against the country called Benin Republic and the president.
Okay. The reason I ask that question is, under normal circumstances, he's being held under, his wish.
Yeah.
Charges are not being brought against him that he has committed an offense in Benin. So he's basically being held illegally in Benin.
Yeah.
So the first option would have been to get a lawyer within Benin, but if that is not working, they are saying the final say is the Beninois dictator. Then court, that's why ECOWAS court, and now even urge that they should start with African court.
Okay.
They should move on to the African court, because ECOWAS, what you're looking at, you're gonna look at the big players within the ECOWAS South region. As with the ECOWAS as an organization, turmoil. If you look at the Francophone bloc, you look at Mali, Burkina Faso, Guinea Conakry, and all those things. Because of the coup and other thing, that bloc is actually going. There's a bit of problem out there. You have Togo, Senegal, what do you call it, Benin, and other. But if you look at it, the chairman of ECOWAS currently, Luis Nakufado, his bedmate is Buhari. Now, if we look at the influence they have, our leaders have on our judges, I think for me the African Court of Human Rights will be the best option, because the Eastern African and the judges along those have proven over the time that they are leading the way for a free judicial system than the West African coast. So they should look at that if they can pursue that. Now, the issue about whether he should run for an office, I don't think the timing is right. The reason I say that is, within the Yoruba nation itself, there's this division, strong division as to who wants to go independent and who wants to go with Nigeria project that way. If you look at Obasanjo, who is one of them, he is against a breakaway. He has his constituents. Many within that region, also within that area, also have that. Now, if he goes to stand now, what you're going to be looking at is a protest vote that he's looking at, and the outcome will only be those who want a breakaway, because the campaign that will go, this is separatist. You vote for him, you are separating. You vote for him, you are separating. Now, if you vote for him as a president, he can't win, because the Yoruba themselves are not enough. They are not enough to tilt the decent crop 50% plus one. Are you getting me? And within the Yoruba nation itself, they are still split. If we've gotten to a point where the Yoruba nation has had a resolution that we resolve, all the key elders like Obasanjo and others are all on board that we want to go our separate ways, then you do have a bit of force to but we still do have that, because some still believe that, look, let's repair the project that we're on, let's change the constitution, and probably the marriage can still work. So in my view, I do not think what it you do, however, will be able to show mathematically and with evidence that he has a lot of support, because that support will be seen in the number of people from the Yoruba area who goes to vote for him or any candidate that stand. What I would advise, if they want to, those who are forming or those who want to go as Yoruba nation, they should form a coalition, and during the local assembly, they should infiltrate all the local assemblies. So if it is this village that we're going to elect local representative, we can start not from the head. Let's start chopping their fingers off from the grassroots.
But the question, if I come in there, is on what constitution?
No, we have independence. No, you see, we're not looking at taking over.
The constitution that we have presently, does not give you that, opportunity. As we all know, was a military decree 24.
Okay, but Olayomi, as we have in Nigeria, can an independent candidate contest
That's
for an
the
election.
question. That independent doesn't work because of the constitution. You know.
No. So
it's not like-
legally, at the local level, an independent candidate cannot stand for an election.
No, well, I mean, all takes out with the APC and the PDP or the ABGA or the other ones.
You have to belong to a political party.
So whoever is the governor takes the whole local government.
No. Allow me. Let's begin to understand this. Is it that whoever is a governor decides who the local assembly members are, or the local assembly members are elected?
That's correct. That's correct, and it has been like that since 1999.
Oh wow! Okay, so the governor is the one who appoints.
So not even another extra party line with the local government, because the governor takes the whole lot.
Okay, hold on. Who appoints the local representatives? Are they appointed or they are elected?
The electoral for the local is operated under the state, not the federal.
No, so at the local level,
conduction of the election is controlled by the state, not the federal.
We know the election is controlled by the state, but let's get this clear. Are the local representatives, those who constitute the local assembly, the assembly members, are they elected or they are appointed?
They are elected, but based on the fact of each of the political party running the state.
Amaya has put something here. He's saying that independent candidates are not allowed.
Okay, so if independent candidates are not allowed, then all they need to do, in my view, is to register a political party as a protest party. Okay, someone can register without.
They can say Ododua party,
or they can give it a different name, but they align with it and then begin chopping the fingers of the main political party. It's a long
same thing like what Showore was trying to do, because Showore couldn't infiltrate that kind of what you're discussing right now. Because of the way the constitution and the electoral.
You see, the Showore problem that I see is that, you see, in my view, there's a gradualistic approach and there's a revolutionary approach. Showore went in with a revolutionary, a democratic movement, thinking that we can mobilize the radical youth, those who, a kind of a protest party. You were going at the top. If I were Showore, the top should not even be an agenda
yet.
It shouldn't be an agenda yet.
Okay.
Whatever resources we have, if we're going to take on one local assembly today, next month we take on another local assembly, next election we begin to chop their fingers off. It could be a 10 years, 15 years project, but at the end of the day we should get someone representing us as a protest vote in there. Are you getting it? If you look at Green, the Greens over here, the Green Party over they are not thinking of a prime ministerial position. But if you look at Brighton, they've held Brighton for years, and over the years they've been making inroads into all other things. You keep. So I think that's the approach that I would advise Ododua to go.
Well, Amaya has come out again. He's saying that, look, you cannot be allowed to register any political party that will align with your ethnicity. So you cannot come, and if they find out that this particular political party is aligned with Yoruba, no.
That's constitutionally, that again constitutionally right, because every political party must have a national representative. That is why I said they should go in, not with Ododua. They register a political party from behind, they use a long spoon, right? Gradually register a political party. The political party declares that they align and share the vision of Ododua and Nnamdi Kanu area. That's it.
Okay.
Are you getting me? Register a political party, declare publicly that we will work with this group of people. Not go and say we are tribal, but we will work with this group and make sure their vision and aspirations are achieved. And then begin to work on the local. That's the way I look at it. But Sanding Bo coming as a national figure, he will not even get 1%. I tell you.
Well, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Before we leave that discussion, how many? If you look at the Yoruba, the South, the Southwest, and the Southeast, do you form a majority? If assuming it's the South against the North, would you? Assuming we are voting South against North, would you form a majority?
Well, it has never been balanced, because even when Buhari tried almost 3 times, he couldn't get through with what they would call, the majority in the north. it literally needed, the support from the South. That was why, the alignment of that political formation took place in 2014 that led to the, takeoff of the PDP party. So that means they needed that extra support from the Southwest.
Okay, Amayo is asking whether you can call in. Amayo, you can call in. Call in.
I will call in.
We want to hear your comment. Yeah? Okay. Listen, let's start Radio UK. Whilst we are waiting for Amayo to call in, Yomi, which are some of the other stories there, sir?
Yeah, let's go straight to, some not being called an embarrassing one, but, one of the, the chairman, the national chairman of the APC, that we believe now, something must be gone wrong with the bladder, because on his visit to one of the traditional ruler in Ogun State over the weekend, while he was trying to prostrate, there was some kind of wetness at his bottom, and people start asking whether the pampers.
He sat in water. He sat in water. They actually wet the. Yeah, he sat in water.
So the headline says, Ailing Tinubu reportedly suffering from what we call a chronic urinary incontinence, urinate on his body in public during a visit to Ijebu monarch. The politician's security aide was seen constantly holding his nose while looking at the wet area. A video which has now gone viral on the social media, which I've seen myself, shows the national leader of the All Progressive Congress and the former Lagos State Governor Tinubu was suspected pee stain on his clothes during a visit to Awujale of Ijebu land. That is on that, but again, there was another evidence that while he was traveling back from Minna to Abuja, a 19-minute flight, he also peed on his trouser almost 9 times. He had to go to the toilet on that private trip. Remember, he was in UK treating some other ailment of leg injury for like almost 3 months before he flew back to Nigeria, declared his intention in January. He literally ran back to the UK again for almost a week, saying he was having a consultation with some of the team, but he has literally gone back as well. So that is on that. But let me say also a happy Valentine with now a full strike coming from ASU this morning after a long deliberation that hasn't gone well with the Nigeria federal government and the academic union that have now declared a indefinite strike.
Yeah. Listeners, just to clarify something, we don't sit here and celebrate that somebody is ill. No, anybody can be ill, anybody. But I think that maybe he's having a problem with his prostate, and that is what is causing that. I mean, if the attention, with his role in the country, whatever, if they need to give him a medical attention, let them give him that medical attention. That time
people play politics with it. When it comes to this, the opposition always play politics with it. We saw it when he was at Tamil's time in Ghana. Even Akufo-Addo this time. We say so. One thing that our leaders will need to stop. One thing. Look, illness is something that is with us. We all force it, and we can be sick at any time. We tend to make ailment as something that is very secret. In this country, when the Queen is ill, we are told. When the Prime Minister is ill, there's nothing to be ashamed of an ailment. In fact, you do that, and even the nation goes into the mood of praying for you. But in our part of Africa, we see human beings as ions. We see human beings, even lions fall sick. So they see them. To them, sign of ailment is a sign of weakness. Totally wrong. And that is where we are today. There's nothing wrong for anyone being sick, right? But we paint that picture, and that's why Buhari will run out of the country to come and seek. That's why they even don't
never tell anybody.
And that is why they even don't go to our own hospitals. Part of the reason because they do not want people to know that they are sick. I think we have.
Okay, I don't know whether this is Amayo. Let's see whether we have Amayo.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Archie.
Yes, Amayo, is that you? Hello, Amayo. Okay, I think his line is dropped.
Amaya can call on WhatsApp.
Yeah, Amaya, call us on the WhatsApp. Yeah, call us on the WhatsApp.
Because I think he's coming from Nigeria.
Probably, yeah, it's quite expensive. Yeah. So call us on the WhatsApp. I'll pick it. Yeah. Okay.
Well, give him the WhatsApp number if he doesn't have it. Yeah.
Okay. If you want to call us on the WhatsApp, it's 075 3966 1744. 075 3966 1744. Okay, so I'm going to text it to you, Amayo. Once we go to Yomi for him to bring some of his the stories making the run. The ASU strike. So what is going to happen there? Over to you, Yomi.
Well, like I said, this has been like an ongoing, communication between, the union and likewise, the government. But just some few hours before we came on air, Nigeria University Lecturers ASU has now declared a total national strike. This comes after a long meeting of the National Executive Council of ASU, which took place in Lagos, drags into the early hours of this morning. The Academic Staff Union University has now declared a national strike. The strike will be total, the Lecturers Union said at the press conference today. You will have expected that this situation will have been resolved. Some of their demands is including the payment of earned academic allowance, revitalization fund, the replacement of the integrated personal payroll information system known as the IPPIS with the University Transparency and Accountability System UTAS. The union, as at last year November 2021, has given Nigerian government a 3-week ultimatum over its failure. So you'll have expected that since November last year till now, situation will have been resolved, but it doesn't seem to have gone very well, and it's unfortunate that some of the students now will probably start making their way back home.
Well, listeners, Starr Radio UK, Mr. Olayomi keep bringing you updates from Nigeria. Now, what is happening with the IPOP? I mean, it looks like because Nnamdi Kanu is in prison, being kept by the wonderful law of themselves group. It seems that the IPOP is disintegrating in a way, or they are not, working together. What exactly is happening when it comes to?
Yes, I had the opportunity to listen to an interview was granted by the one of the lead counsel, Ejimofo, for Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the IPOP that was kidnapped rendition from Kenya back to Nigeria. And what it came out, what they was say that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu not really happy with the distractors' action and calls all the Biafrans to respect his leadership structure, the DOS decision, and to continue to show solidarity and loyalty at this very difficult time. We know that since he was kidnapped back to Nigeria, just as any other organization of movement, there will always be a kind of, especially when the leader is out of the the picture, it seems different groups, different individuals might want to do things their own different ways. Today also making it 2 years that the parents of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu were laid to rest, and we continue to pray for their soul. But the most important thing is we hope just as there's other issues among the Yoruba movement as well, ever since the movement started almost some 3 years ago. But like all this movement, we can only hope that the structure that Nnamdi Kanu has laid down before he was kidnapped and rendition back to Nigeria will be followed by all the followers of the Biafrans on the wide world, where they're all over doing different things, to make sure that the movement continue while it's still in the hands of the DSS and the federal government of Nigeria.
Okay, Maya says one of the government tools on the masses is divide and rule strategy.
Old time formula.
Yeah. I know he's saying that in line with what you were saying, that when it comes to the Yorubas, Sunday decide to even stand. The Yorubas are not all together.
No.
So there's a split in there. So that will just cause them to lose from the world.
For me, it will be, and the way he's rising and what he's pushing. Losing an election is normal, but you do not want that to dampen the spirit of your followers,
of the followers,
because you now have to get supporters to channel the little resources that they have to support programs on air, to be able to keep the message going. We channel those resources into campaigning, and once that is over, we don't win that election, that spirit goes down. So for me, the timing is not right at all to consider anything of an election, unless you want to start targeting the local assembly, or probably some people who support the idea. Even if you don't have political party now, you support them. This person, we can work gentleman's agreement. Will you support Yoruba cause? If you support Yoruba cause, we come to your aid. We mobilize the young men and women who believe in the Oduduwa nation. They come to your constituency, they campaign for you, and make sure you are elected. You can begin to work on those informal gentleman agreements the most important, get people who believe in your message and idea at the grassroots to start taking. You cannot engineer yourself out of what is going on. If you are in there, you contribute to what the decision making process. You even hear what is being said, what is being planned. That will help you to plan. For me, that's the approach that I will opt for.
It's better to be in than being out and not knowing what is going on in there. Okay, Amaya says even if you are elected and the government discovered you are grouping on ethnicity lines, the government will unleash terror on the group. And it goes on further to say, but people are getting wiser now. So though they might have that notion of doing something, so they don't put. You can't say. I'm working. You can't tell me that this
that's it. That is it. That's what they need to do.
Okay, listen to Starr Radio UK. Update from Nigeria with Mr. Olayomi. Yomi, let's come back to you for some of the other stories and then what is happening on the social media platform. Over to you.
Well, we go straight to the social media, but again, as we continue to monitor, what we now call the ASU strike, we also have to remember that it doesn't go well, as the NUPENG are now also thinking of going into what we call a new strike, because the situation of the petrol doesn't seem to be going nowhere at the moment, and that is already causing a lot. No end to fuel scarcity as NUPENG mobilized for what we call a nationwide strike. So it might be some of the prophecy that we're expecting, that there will be so much strike at the end of this year in Nigeria, and we have to see whether the government will do everything to stop that as well. Also, I was looking at the story that over the weekend where there was tension as the deposed Emir Sanusi planned Kano visit. Remember, it was removed by the governor of Kano State, Gandola. Politically, security stakeholders have raised concerns over the alleged plans by the former Emir of Kano, Muhammadu Sanusi, to visit Kano State. According to some of the concerned stakeholders who spoke to the papers over the weekend, urged the revived former Emir to shelve any plan of visiting Kano at the moment, as tension is high and could lead to a clash between his supporters and those against him. However, the state government, speaking through the Commissioner for Information, Muhammadu Garba, said it was unaware of any such planned visit, but it was not against the deposed Emir visiting his hometown. So we're going to monitor that and see how that will end, but we hope there will not be all kind of clashes should he make any attempt to travel to Kano since he has been deposed. A lot of pictures, I've used those pictures as well. Remember when there was a kind of a storage of food all over the nation and people were hungry, and then this individual says Momo at Morris_Moyi some 14 hours ago, Nigerians, don't forget this, the opulent politicians hide these food items from poor Nigerians. Remember that a lot of food were eaten away in different warehouses until people started finding out those places, busting those places, taking out all the food as well. Also, according to Williams, on October 7, 1967, Muritala Mohammed commanded the Nigerian Army Division that committed massacre in Asaba. Nigerians chanted, "One Nigeria were murdered by that war criminal for nothing. He is a war criminal, not a national hero." According to a response under Atiku Abubakar official page on Twitter, Muritala Mohammed was in a hurry to develop Nigeria and his determined progressiveness. He planted trees, who shaded, he never lived to enjoy, including the new federal capital territory, Abuja, the indigenization policy, which increases the participation of Nigerians. So it seems somebody is not agreeing with Atiku post and put something else as well. I'll take two more from what is trending on Nigeria this morning on Twitter. According to Alhaji Omo Iyawayek 77, Nigerians whose parents spend money on their education believe Ghanaians can travel abroad with just an ID card. Now I know why they believe the Jardine Oju could enforce a US visa ban. Remember that this story of the new e-electronic card that the Ghanaians can use across different parts of the globe at about almost 44,000 airports. That has also been creating a kind of conversation between some Nigerians, and also while we are still backwards, it seems Ghana is moving a little bit forward.
Yeah, allow me, hold on. I think there's a bit of miscommunication that I don't blame the Nigerian media. I blame the deliberate attempt by the Ghanaian media and the Ghanaian government to create a deliberate falsehood impression. Look, Ghana does not have e-passport. Let's get that clarification. we have an identity card. Now, they use this information that the International Civil Aviation Organization has certified. The International Civil Aviation Organization has no power, no authority to certify an ID or what can be accepted by any sovereign nation. So, UK, for instance, the International Civil Aviation Organization cannot decide for the UK that Ghanaians have what they call ID card, and therefore they should be allowed. An ID card is an ID card, and it is ID card and supposed to remain an ID card. An e-passport is an e-passport and it remains an e-passport, mostly linked with the passport itself. What Ghana has done is to have an ID card. It means that wherever you are in the world and you have that and you want to go back to your country, all they need to do is to recognize that, or to check, electronic checking that, oh, you are truly Ghanaian. They'll take you. So whether you have a passport, you have a travel certificate, you have a service passport, whatever it is, if you can produce the ID card, you know you are a Ghanaian, they'll take you to your country. But you cannot move with that card outside. Now, the second bit of it is that you do not require a passport because of ECOWAS protocol to travel within the ECOWAS region. You don't. All you need to do is to prove that you belong to. You are a citizen of the mega. So there's nothing like. I mean, the government, and I heard the vice president office, his spokesperson Dr. Buaku and other. These are false propaganda being pushed for political gains. Ghana does not have e-passports.
Okay, Yomi, continue and then let me read that.
And this will be the last one on the tweet this morning from Reno Omokere, a very popular, what we call a public figure, worked during the Jonathan era as one of the spokesmen there. And this is what he posted on Still the Conversation on what happened when Tinubu, the national chairman, visited Ijebu in one of the royal father. And he says, can someone perform a welfare check on Bola Tinubu's aide who held his nose when Tinubu suffered from toilet malfunction? Feelers have it that he may no longer be employed. If this is true, Nigerians want to know what crime the man committed by covering his nose.
Well, listen at Starr Radio UK, Tinubu for you. Okay, Amayo says revolution. Okay, he says all in all, the only way out of this gridlock is self-determination. He goes on further to say revolution now, referendum now, freedom now, Yoruba nation now, Biafra nation now, other nations now.
I love his positive mental attitude towards what he believes in, and that's what we must do. You believe in a cause, go all out for it, and I congratulate. Although I might not agree with him fully, I support what he's doing, and I congratulate those who support what they believe in.
Because of that, say my generation have been Yoruba before Nigeria was formed. Now France speaks French, England speaks English, Germany speaks German, China speaks Chinese, Japan speaks Japanese. He said, I am Yoruba, we will speak Yoruba, and only Yoruba in Yoruba nation. Okay, so that's a good one.
I'll be the first teacher. Let me be the first headmaster for a local school over there.
He said, Nelson Mandela says, it may seem impossible until it's done. Yes, we can and we will. All West African leaders are propagandists. That's pertaining to the e-levy.
I mean the e-passport.
The
e-passport.
E-passport. My apologies. The e-levy has gone into my subconsciousness. Okay, Yomi, let's say thank you very much for that wonderful presentation once again.
Thank you very much once again to all our listeners. Happy Valentine from wherever you are, all over the globe. Good morning to those in Canada or Delhi. Good morning to those on the YouTube, also on the transmission here. Make sure you stay tuned as Frank and Archie take you to the remaining part of the segment. I'll be back again same time tomorrow where we continue with more updates from Nigeria. But for now, a very good morning, good afternoon, and I'll be back again same time tomorrow. Bye for now.
Bye. Okay, get yourself, take a sip of water wherever you are. It's Starr Radio, okay? And let's enjoy this song, a cover version of Bob Marley's tune, So Much Trouble in the World. Enjoy it and I'll be with you.
Very righteous person, very beautiful person, a very good friend of mine, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for Mitchell Brunings.
Hebben we al gedaan, hè? Rauter. Libië, Jemen, Japan. Het lied zegt het. Blessed my eyes this morning, Jaja's sun was on the rise once again, yeah. Way earthly things been going, anything can happen, yeah. Them sitting under ego trips, blast off in their spaceship, ship. Million miles from my reality. No care for you, no care for me. There is so much trouble in the world. There is so much trouble in the world. Bless my eyes this morning. Jaja's sun was on the rise once again. Way earthly things been going. Anything can happen. Them sitting under ego trips, blast off in their spaceships. Million miles from my reality. No care for you, no care for me. There is so much trouble in the world. 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 All you gotta do is you give a little, you take a little, you give a little. One more time, you give a little, you take a little. Hey, so you think you found a solution, but it's just another illusion. So before you check your time, don't leave another cornerstone standing there behind.
This is Starr Radio UK. All around the world.
Broadcasting worldwide online 24/7.
We're the real street people talking. The real people struggling, yeah.
This is Starr Radio UK.
See them sitting on their time bomb, and I know that the time is gone. What goes up is coming down. What goes around comes around, and there is so much trouble in the world. There is
Broadcasting worldwide online 24/7.
There is so much trouble in the world. There is so much trouble in the world. There is so much trouble, so much war. People
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Tune in to On Point here on Star Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business. The show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Star Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes.
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. Of darkness.
So what did that?
Myself and the world will adjust. And 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on the CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Star Radio.
Welcome back to the program Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bringing the time now to 6 minutes past the top of the hour. That's 6 minutes past 12 wherever you are. Thank you very much for tuning in to listen to us today. Let me announce the lines open and then I can come and acknowledge a few comments that have come on the social media platform as well. Yes. If you want to call in, it's 0208-133-2257 or 58. 0208-133-2257 or 58. If you happen to be in the US, Canada, or the Caribbean area, it's 001-718-303-2737. 001-718-303-2737. You can text or WhatsApp us 075-3966-1744, 075-3966-1744. Our Twitter handle is Star Radio UK and the email address is info@starradiouk.com. So whatever you do, get in touch with us. Olayomi says I quite agree with Amayo. Yoruba will be our official language when we get our Yoruba nation. All right. Yeah. So it's good to decide on the language. Yes. Those are some of the blueprints that we're talking about. Let us know all those and see how we are all going to be dealing with that. Starr Radio UK. Let's take a quick break. We come back and we continue with the news that is making the rounds here.
Welcome to Gabby Dave Global. We are a UK-based online e-commerce store, the first of its kind with license to trade in African products. Some of the products are clothing brands and all beauty accessories, hair and beauty brands, natural aphrodisiacs, processed and dried unprocessed food. Our mission at Gabby Dave is to connect African and Caribbean businesses to customers globally. At Gabby Dave, we ensure our sellers get the best deal for their products. We are not just here to help you reach a wider audience. We are also a distribution center to support business growth by fulfilling orders to your customers from our warehouse, making sure customers receive their products on time. We are inviting all Black-owned businesses to trade on our platform because we strongly believe Africans have a unique brand the customer would appreciate globally. So get in touch today and let us make your product and business go far. Here are some of the benefits of using Gabby Dave Global. User-friendly platform, track your shipment, online support, transparent process, multiple SKUs, multiple products, a platform that encourages manufacturers as well as traders. Our marketing and PR interventions amplifies yours. Organized products and categories for easy access and navigation. Access to global community, especially within UK and Europe.
The program Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to 9 minutes past the top of the hour. Let's look at some of the stories making the rounds here in the UK. With me in the studio, Mr. Frank Davis, I'm Archie, and we are looking at the stories making the rounds here at home. All right then. So first of all, here in the UK. Inquiry to examine the post office wrongful convictions. More than 700 sub-postmasters and mistresses were wrongly convicted due to a flawed computer system. Now, that was one story that was quite worrying at the time.
Yeah.
That you did no fault of yours, and then because of a computer glitch, and now you find yourself. I mean, you are defending yourself and nothing, and then people were in prison. People have lost their lives. I mean, we know that the post office have come out with compensating various people, but are they going to hold any particular person culpable for what happened? I mean, overseeing whatever the IT system or whatever.
I think they might be looking at what do you call it, the corporate structure as Royal Mail. But actually, you see, anytime I hear of this story, what comes to my mind is, look, many of us who identify with this when we're growing up, sometimes you've not done anything, but because you are accused, but because you do not have a voice, the elders say something, even if you are innocent, even if you want to explain, they say, oh, shut up. I mean, especially, shut up. Basically, you go inside bitter within yourself. And some of us still have that bitterness, carry those bitterness against even our parents are up to today because of it. Now, that is what comes to mind. There are people in prison now who have not done anything. Just last week or last 2 weeks, we heard a story where someone who has been in prison for years sent a note to another person who was convicted, admitting that he was rather the one who committed those murders. Are you getting me? That is why I lean on what Professor Mills used to say. Look, it's better for 1,000 guilty people to go scot-free and convict than to convict one innocent person. Are you getting me? It is better for many people who might be guilty to be set free than to convict one innocent person. At the end of the day, it's an injustice that was done. But if it is done backed by the system, then I mean, as individuals, where do we turn to? But you see, the only good thing over here is that there are corrective measures within this country. They will not restore whatever they've lost. Some lost their jobs. they lost everything, that they couldn't get jobs again. Their life was ruined. Some of them have died as a result of I mean
the disgrace
and other things, what they didn't do. I mean, they were accused of it and other things. I just hope that for whatever is left, the state will cover a lot of compensation for them. It should be something that should not be allowed to happen ever again, because it just couldn't be one. I don't know why they they proceeded with that, because you look at A complaining about computer glitch, B complaining about computer,
and you say no,
computer, and it is not that if it is one person.
Yeah, you can say that. Well,
you can say that. You can say that. But here's a case where a lot is happening, reports across the system, but the system still went ahead and put these people behind bars. For me, I think the system has. I mean, never again should it. Shouldn't be happening. But as we speak, probably there are thousands that are happening on a daily basis.
In various industries. Well, we wish everybody, we wish them the best. We hope that they get the redress that they are looking for. But have you seen fuel prices? Jesus, it's hit the highest.
They're flying.
They are flying. Fuel prices have hit a new record high at the pump across the UK, tightening the squeeze on UK consumers. The motoring organization AAA has said over the weekend petrol reached 148.02p a litre, while diesel hit a new record high of 151.57. That is £1.51.
I bought 149.
You bought 149?
Yeah, I bought it 149 yesterday.
Petrol or diesel?
Petrol. Yeah.
So that it's gone up again?
Yeah, I bought it 149 yesterday in the evening. Yeah. Unless the pump I went to, I bought it 149 yesterday.
Gosh. Hard times ahead, but well, we hope that God will help us.
We will survive.
Okay, let's move on to some international stories. The banter between Russia and Ukraine goes on. We have now foreigners leaving Ukraine at the moment, and the US coming out to say, look, they were saying that Russia is going to attack. Russia is going to. At this time, right, they came out with a date over the weekend that on Wednesday. Russia is bound to attack the 16th. Now, is it some military intel? You know, they come on things.
Actually, could it also be that US is planning to attack within to say that Russia has attacked?
Where will US attack? Will US go to attack?
Actually, a lot of things happen. The economic interest in all this. There's an attempt again to bring down Russia for the last bit. Look, the Cold War could not eliminate Soviet. It could not introduce democracy there. We've seen a lot of agitation for pure, or what the Westerners will call their type of democracy in Russia. It has not worked over this time, and we still know that the West has an interest in trying to get that country liberalized the way other nations are, because the more liberalized the countries, the more they can go in for their businesses, the more they can take sides, the more they can infiltrate the country, the more they can do divide and rule, as our brother said earlier on. So Archie, in my view, yes, they might be saying this, but is it possible? US intelligence is not gospel.
Oh, of course.
Because we know several times. We know several times their intelligence has failed. We know several times they've used Ceci doses to deceive the world into action. Could it be one of them? I'm not saying I know better than them. But I also remain a citizen, and I want to ask questions. That could it be that this is all being played up? Russia has always said, I have no intention. The question they will ask Russia is, why are you amassing military along?
And now serious military exercises going on.
It's my territory.
Why do you do that at my
it's not your soil, it's my soil. Did I cross into your territory? No. Because the US, Russia is also saying, they also have intelligence to say that the Ukrainians are trying to attack Crimea. And that is also a red line to them.
How can the Ukrainians go attack Crimea?
Oh, Archie.
Because it was theirs and then you took it, so they want to take it back.
Don't forget, Ukraine was once part of USSR. They moved out. Crimea has also moved out. Crimea has also moved up.
We go Felix. Let's go to Felix. Felix, good afternoon to you. Hello, Felix.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you. How are you? Hello.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. We can hear you. We can hear you.
Oh, apologies about that.
No, that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. Happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you celebrate Valentine as well, happy Valentine's Day to you.
I don't do that.
That's why I say, you see, I'm trying to
conditional wishes.
I don't do any of that gimmick. Look, when you and I were growing up, there was none of this kind of nonsense, and life was actually better that time.
You see, okay, yes, please go on, sir.
You see, about 3-4 months ago, a well-decorated American general, passed away. General Colin Powell. For all the things that he did, for all the barriers that he broke, you know, one dent on his career. I remember that time very well. I was actually in the library studying at Aberdeen University when I overheard him making that speech at the United Nations. Right? I believe you all remember that speech.
Oh, we do. Saddam will say
the satellite images.
Yes. You see, these people have a history of never-ending telling lies. But I don't blame them. Whether by design or by default, they have built up a very expensive educational system where increasingly there are people who are being, shall we say, miseducated. In some cases, they are being educated into a system of ignorance. Right? The Americans have done that. They've completely done that to themselves. Well established. They've been very well educated in inverted commerce. American friends or relatives or people you come in contact with, they have very little knowledge about the rest of the world. Unfortunately, that is also coming to this part of the world. Right? Ask yourself, how many people even know anything about Ukraine in this country? How many people? How many people even know about the complex nature of the relationship between Ukraine and Russia? How many people know about that? How many people know that 40 years ago, these people could move across territory because it was the same country, USSR. Right? So there are many people who live in Ukraine now who are by ethnic origin are Russians who have just relocated maybe a generation or 2 generations ago, just relocated over there. And the end of the USSR, a lot of them did not see the need to relocate to where their grandparents came from. Right? So, I mean, you have to remember that why would Russia attack them anyway? Because about 20 or 25% of that population are ethnically Russians. So why would they attack them? And what is the end of Russia attacking Ukraine? What are they going to benefit from
that?
Sometimes people forget that Russia is the biggest country in the world. It is the reason why it has 8 time zones. They have to say Happy New Year 8 times in that country. It's a big enough country to run, and it's a very difficult country to run. Because most of the country is frozen most of the year. They have enough problems on their shoulders in Russia to deal with. So Russia is going to attack Ukraine for what? I'm surprised that in the British media nobody has ever asked the question: why are they going to attack Ukraine?
You know, earlier on, I was thinking about the Black Sea fleet, but I was looking at it and I thought, no, Russians have control over that. That's where Crimea was. So, I mean, virtually, they don't have any need per se to say they want to attack Ukraine. So it makes it quite difficult. Yeah.
Actually, your line is not very clear at all. I don't know whether it's from my end. I may just have to
Okay,
And the
okay.
column.
No, I think I put the
it's
volume
better
up
now.
now. Yeah, it's better now.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So I was talking about the Black Sea Fleet, where during the USSR, Russia had all their fleets there. But I could see that now Russia is in control of that. So I don't understand why the need for the Russians to say they would really want to attack Ukraine. For what?
Yes, I don't know why so-called. I don't know where these technologies come from, but I don't know why journalists or people who have been in broadcast media for a long time, why do they not put these questions to the people who are, evacuating their nationals and closing down their embassies and high commissions and all the rest? No, not high commissions, embassies and diplomatic. Yeah. Why would Russia attack Ukraine? Why would they attack them? For what reason? Why would they want to take over another country? What is the end game here? Why would Russia do that? Now they claim that they've amassed 100,000 Russian troops on the Ukrainian border.
It's gone to 130,000.
Well, let's even make it 250,000. Let's even give them that. They are still Russian military assets within Russian territory. They have every right to move soldiers in their own country.
Does it?
They have every right. Is it now the business of some other country to go and tell other nations how they can move military assets in their own country? I mean, you come from a country where your president decided that for him to address the issue of COVID, he has to move soldiers to the eastern part of the country. Have the Togolese raised a noise about it?
No.
Because it's none of their business. How you move soldiers in your own country? Do we think that soldiers are not moving this country all the time?
Oh, they are. They are.
Look, I live in a fairly rural part of the country. I can't say I see every bit of it, but we see them when they are on the move, particularly sometimes when you drive on the motorway. Sometimes they can't hide it. They don't have a choice. They have to use the motorway. So you see them. It may be one vehicle, maybe two vehicles, but you see their vehicle. Has anybody raised any issues with that?
Nope.
I mean, look, it is their country. Whether they amass 250,000 people around the Russian-Ukrainian border or not, it doesn't matter. It is still their country. They have every right to move military assets. I don't know why anybody has any issues with that. I mean, what has somebody in Suffolk got to do being deployed in Kiev? I mean, that's really quite some distance, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
They don't seem to have any issues with that. Or they don't think the Russians should have any issues with that. Why has somebody who has been trained, who is serving at a base in York, what are you doing in somewhere in Kiev? And they don't think the Russians should have issues with that, but they have issues with the Russians moving their own troops in their own territory. The exercises that are going on, look, they have military agreements with Belarus. And if the Belarusians are happy for them to have these exercises on their land, it's nobody's business. It's just like the way we have ECOMOG. That is an agreement within West African, amongst West African countries. So if we have Ivorian soldiers on Ghanaian soil as part of ECOMOG contingent exercising in Achanti or Keta or Lubu, that is an agreement that we have as a sub-regional group. So our soldiers can go to Liberia, go and serve over there for whatever the program is for them. Nigerian soldiers can go to Liberia, they can go to Sierra Leone, because it's an agreement that individual countries have had. Right? So there's nothing wrong with that. If Russia has an agreement with Belarus to do military drills and exercises and they are doing that, what is the problem?
But I don't understand what is... I said maybe they are just trying to test the ammunitions that they've got.
No, the Russians have always had legitimate concerns. Look, NATO military assets are being moved to Eastern Europe.
Yeah.
Some of these military assets are within 6-minute strike of St. Petersburg and Moscow. Big population centers. Right? Big population centers. And you expect a military might such as Russia to sit down and do nothing about it? No, not when they lost about 25 million of their nationals during the Second World War, resisting Hitler's invasion of St. Petersburg. 25 million. That's more than the population size of the UK at the time, certainly the fighting age.
Yeah.
So the idea that they should sit down and do nothing about that, and remember, Russia's never started a First World War, a Second World War. They've never done that.
Yeah.
We know the people who started First and Second World Wars.
The Germans.
These are just... Look, I'm not European. I don't have to come and teach Europeans or tell Europeans what their history is. Right? So sometimes I find it very difficult that you are having an increasing generation of Europeans who have very little knowledge about their own history, and somebody who's not even European. And I'm not, praising myself or yourself or any of our listeners, but whether we like it or not, we are guests here. So if we're taking it upon ourselves to read a bit of their history, they should also know their own history and question their political leaders. I mean, if you hear what the defense minister or whatever his name is, or whatever his title is, was saying yesterday, it was really grim. And I was just asking myself, were you there anyway? Because if I look at him, I don't think he's about that age to be around in 1938 or 1939. He was referring
those who are there, most of them are dead.
Yes. So for him to say that it's a sniff of a smell of what happened, I know it's an idiomatic expression, but if you take it literally, I mean, were you there? Or was it your grandparents who told you that? Anyway, I'm listening. Somebody else can say something.
Before you go, you don't forget. I mean, just a few years ago, we heard NATO also planning to go and erect some iron domes, similar to what the Israelis have in Poland.
Yeah.
Are you getting me? We do know the U.S. conduct military exercises with South Korea always, and when they are doing it, and not what do you call it? North Korea begins to complain. They tell them to shut up. I mean, it's like a double standard that we do have. A double standard we do have. I mean, you ask yourself, like Feli said, why would they want to attack? Why would they want to? They say, look, any attack on Crimea, the areas we control, we will reply. We're not going to attack. But see, they are using it as a pretext to arm that corridor. That's why NATO is doing it. And for me, all this noise, there's no justification for them. They can't just stand up and go and be militarizing that place. So everything that they are doing, in my view, is a pretext to be able to
fan up the flame of war, and then you can arm your.
You see, and the other thing the Ukrainians do not know is that their economy is going down.
Yeah.
Because investment is flying.
Yeah.
Capital is flying out of the country. Are you getting me? And then what you do? You then become reliant on them.
Yeah.
God help us.
Okay, Felix, thank you very much. Thank you. Well, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK.
No, I'm still on.
Okay. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let's go straight to Africa, but a quick one on this story, and then we'll go to Ghana. I'm asking this question: at what age do you think that you talk to your children about sex? It's quite a dicey thing. Some people are looking at it, but Mozambique is withdrawing from its education curriculum a book for 12 years old grade, even 7 pupils, containing some controversial subjects of sexuality. The natural science book addresses subjects of masturbation and sexual orientation. Now, the education ministry says the book has been in use from 2004, but these topics generating controversy in society will no longer be taught. Okay, now you know, when we were growing up, I mean, rarely would you see even pornography, picture of and nude. I mean, we don't see that, but we are in an age where, because of social media and development in technology, so you can be there at the top of something. And so, what are they trying to do?
Archie, I do have a little bit of a problem with the reportage. I'll be very, very, very much surprised if the content of the book as it is today is the same as it was in 2004 or 14, as they say. 2004. I will be so much surprised. Actually, a few years ago, there was this international movement because of the gay rights and other things to infiltrate or to include a lot of what they believe are today acceptable modern day sexual things in schools. And that is why somewhere last 2 years, you heard in Ghana, sexuality and something education right. Are you getting me? Most in this country, we've seen demonstrations about that. Actually, the content of this book, that's why I say again, I'll be so surprised it is the same thing. They have actually found giving governments money and a lot of people money to be able to change the content of the book. For instance, we were not taught about gay a few years ago. These books now contains issues about someone loving another man is okay. Are you getting me? Someone loving another man is okay. They call it sexuality education. To what extent and what do you want to teach? Teaching kids about sexual this thing, I don't have a problem, but the content of it, anything that we're teaching must conform with the society, the people living
norms.
So if you're going to teach kids, for instance, like the way Ghana one was supposed to go, where men on men, when it has not been accepted yet, then you basically telling kids that go and rebel within the society against the norms and other things. And for me, I'll frown on it.
Okay.
Are you get me? At what age will I start talking about sex to my daughter? Actually, they begin to understand even from the age 6 or 5. They begin to ask, why are you a man and why are you the same? They begin to ask. Look, I told her I was walking one day with my daughter, and she asked me, there was this black girl and a white guy, and she asked, why is she with him? Are you getting? And this is a 5-year, 6-year-old girl. So here she had, to some extent, they understand. But to go into the deeper sexual talks, me from age of 13, I'll start talking to my daughter about it. I'll start talking to my daughter about it, and I wouldn't even want her to take a boyfriend or begin to hide it from me. I want an open conversation about it. But I'm very, very, very skeptical about the reportage. I do not believe that the content of the book is the same as it was in 2004. I think that is a lie.
Okay. Let me see, Felix. What is your take on that?
Leave it to the parents.
Leave it to the parents. So the state should not take that on. They will look at it.
There may be some situations where some individuals, obviously, for whatever the reason may be, they may come from difficult backgrounds, or maybe not even difficult backgrounds, but maybe circumstances in history would have not have played fairly on them. Unfortunately, there are some children who have been born when, in the case of Africa, for instance, there are a lot of mothers who still pass away during the course of labor. So some children may come into the world without never knowing who their mothers are. So such children, they may be raised by other individuals. Of course, there are sometimes also where families find themselves in difficult situations, and therefore children will have to go and stay away from some other persons who may be their biological parents. And there are some biological parents also who perhaps sometimes have one or two issues, so they may not be able to do the parent thing the way it's supposed to be done. But primarily, it should be a decision for the parents to decide, because the maturity of a child is not necessarily by age, particularly in the African context, although in this part of the world they think that because you are 16 you can do certain things, because you are 18 you can do certain things, and because you are 21 you can do certain things, depending on which jurisdiction you find yourself in. But there are children who sometimes are 16, they are far more mature than somebody who's 21. I don't want to go into details, but we all have some relatives who are 25, and every now and then they're still going back to their parents. The slightest thing, they're going back to their parents. Yes, you have a 16-year-old who is in boarding school, and you send him or her to boarding school, and he or she will never give you a call back. I need this, I need that. They'll stay there, school vacation, they come home. And sometimes you wonder, how can you be 16 and have all this maturity around you? You don't go to your parents to ask them for anything. They don't bring any trouble. They pass out from school with flying grades and good conduct and good character statements from their teachers and things like that. Yet you may find people at university level. Sometimes people from the same womb, same mother, same father. But you may find an elderly, sibling who is constantly coming back home.
Yeah.
I mean, in this country, for instance, there are people who in their 30s, after they've started relationships, things are falling apart, and they move back home to their parents' home. So maturity is not necessarily an issue of age.
Yeah.
And these are not matters that the state should have an overwhelming, disposition in terms of legislation and things like that. I accept that, in some cases you may need the involvement of the state, but it primarily should be an issue of the parents and the child, and the relationship between the children and their parents. Of course, you don't want children to be abused, because there are some, shall we say, all odious characters over there who are grown up who would like to abuse children. So certain things you have to let them know, and that one, if the state has to be involved in terms of what is an assault, what is rape, what your rights are, what you should yield to or what you should not yield to in the face of the law, in the face of any kind of conduct from any other person. So those things you can teach them what constitutes rape, what your rights are, should you think that somebody has behaved inappropriately towards you, whether these individuals be they your own parents or blood relations or friends or people you don't even know at all in a sphere of life. So those things, the state can be involved, and I don't have an issue the state explaining to children at the age of 14, 15, maybe even younger, that this is what constitutes rape, this is what constitutes unacceptable behavior from another person, be it of the same sex or of the opposite sex. And if you think that you've been treated in a way, somehow, that you think is below the laws or the rules of engagement in the country, then you can teach them where they can go and how they can make a complaint or things like that. So that one I don't have an issue with, that the state involvement. But these are what we are discussing here are not issues that borders on criminality. These are issues about how individuals conduct themselves. Of course, there's public health issue there, because when children get themselves involved in, shall we say, sexual relationship at an early age, it has long-term consequences. I think that's an issue that you can tie it up in a biology lesson and explain to them. It may be uncomfortable, but we all went through biology lessons, and these things have to be taught some way, somehow. So that can be taught. Maybe the people who have professional background in education can find a way to shape that in the syllabus. But look, there's an underlying theme over there. They tried it on Ghana about 2, 3, 4 months ago, maybe over the last 16 months. There's been a strong hit back. They moved it to another country. And I believe you know who I'm talking of. Yes. I mean, if you look at the story that you are reading, it's basically a carbon copy of the explanations we were getting from our government in Ghana. You know, they are testing. Basically, like they say, you are testing the ground. You know, for those who have come from a rural location, what do you do when the first rain sets in? You pick up a stick and you hit the ground and see how much water has gone into the soil. And if the water, if there's not enough penetration of water into the soil, you don't go out there and start growing your seeds, because it's just a matter of time the ground will dry up again. So you hit the ground, you pick up a stick and you hit the ground and see how easy the stick can go into the ground in order to ascertain the level of water penetration into the soil. You know, you go out there and check, have you seen first elements of worms coming out of the soil, earthworms? That will give you an indication whether the soil is rich for planting of, seeds. They are testing the ground. They go to one country, they test. If it's not okay, they move on, and then they character assassinate the president or the leadership of the country. Then they go to another country, test the ground. If that doesn't help, they character assassinate the leader of the president and the government. And then that's what they're doing. They are testing the ground. They went to East Africa. The reception was not good. They came to West Africa. Your president seemed like he is a weak president, but the opposition is too strong. So now they are testing some other places.
Okay, they are testing. What do you think about all that? Starr Radio UK. We'll be having Linda pretty soon. We've got about 3 minutes. Let me say 5 minutes. Linda, yes, and then
Linda will join us on the sexuality issue. I actually want to know her,
what she
as a woman, what she thinks.
But a quick one, one story that's made the headlines in Ghana and all the media sphere this morning pertaining to this treason charge that has been labeled or labeled on the Fix the Country convener, that is Voma War. Now, we did say the other time that the statement that he made, he wasn't wise in it. I'd rather all the time say that leave some of your A cards close to your chest. Don't put all your cards down. But now that he's been arrested and been charged, do you reckon that is abuse of freedom of speech?
Actually, it will be very irresponsible again for any government to sit down for someone to say I'll conduct a coup without investigating. I wouldn't buy that. Okay. But when you arrest him, what you take him through and what you do and how you adjudicate a case, how you prosecute a case is where the challenge might be.
Okay.
Now, some of the words too can be English words, because if I say a coup, I have not said military coup. Because the dictionary has different definition of what a coup is. Now, actually, apart from he saying that, we know a lot of people who speak out of emotions. The security forces will need to demonstrate capacity.
Okay, has he got the capacity to actually
they need to demonstrate capacity. That is why if you look at the guys or those who are in court now with the kitchen knife case, they are showing weapons that any soldier sitting over there will think that you crazy to think that these people
I'm robbery.
Some of the weapons might not even succeed in killing a cow, not even a mad dog, talk less a coup d'etat. So the security agencies will have to demonstrate that the man has capacity. I only pray that they do not go to fabricate and plant evidence. Over the weekend I was listening to Captain Smart, how they set up someone to bribe him so that they can apprehend him.
What?
Yes, that video is there, that everything that he's going to was because they gave money to someone to attempt bribing him, while the security officers arrived there, so we heard that someone was coming to bribe someone over here. I mean, so I just believe that it is not that kind of thing.
Okay.
But actually, knowing the political system that we find ourselves in, when they want to come against you, and Becker has been he's been at the forefront of resistance, call it that way.
Yeah.
If we look at what is happening to Gregory Afoko, where even a court of competent jurisdiction under a president who claims to be a human rights lawyer, granted and admitted someone to bail, but they still went ahead and are still keeping him to date, and the case has died down. Nobody knows where Gregory is today. He's still in custody. And our judicial system to have also spoken that you have disrespected the laws of the land. We admitted someone to bail, and you've not released the person as yet.
None has said that.
Now, his comment for me was irresponsible. But the state must demonstrate again the capacity for him to conduct such a coup. Which I think they cannot demonstrate it. Right? They don't, it's going to be very, very difficult unless they plant a case. Unless they plant. But it will also be an irresponsible thing for a government to do, that someone say, okay, I'll stage a coup without them acting and arresting the person to be able to investigate further. That for me too will not be on.
Okay, listeners, 12:46. We will have to run up the first part of the program whilst we wait for Linda. Linda, please call us back. I apologize, and I think Felix's line too is dropped. I think both of them, the line crashed, and then it crashed in Ukraine.
Archie, I'm still around.
Okay. You see, the American is still there.
Felix will never be an American.
Felix, a quick one, then we can cross over to Linda, please.
Look, the gentleman will have his time in court. There was no need for him to have been, arrested the way he did. If you have issues with him, you send him to court, and then that's about it.
Okay.
The problem is that, look, this is a government that is on the back foot.
Okay.
And this is a government that is also not telling you the truth. Right? The nation seems to be in significant financial precarious situation. And they are not telling the truth. And that is what is the main issue now. Because what did he complain about? The finances of the country, isn't it?
Yeah.
According to the post that upon which he has been arrested, it has to do with the finances of the country. And it is because of the finances of the country that they want to impose a new levy or tax or whatever they want to call it.
Yeah.
The nation is in serious financial problems, and they should find a way to address that issue. That is the main thing.
Okay.
Just address the financial problems of the country.
And there will be no.
They are responsible for the financial state in which the country is at the moment. They have been at the steering wheel for the last 5 years. We are getting into their 6th year. In fact, we are in their 6th year now. The 5 years have already passed.
Yeah.
At least he's been in government for about 5 years and 1 month plus. So they should address the financial. When they were borrowing all this money and they were making noises about smart borrowing, what did they mean by smart borrowing?
When you borrow without telling the public and then spend it, that is smart borrowing.
So that is well, we'll come back to hit you then. It's just like a man and a woman or partners living together, and one is racking up a credit card bill.
Yeah.
And not showing up. At some point in time, the letter will come to the house.
Yeah.
Or somebody will come and knock at the door.
Yeah.
From the bailiff's office, wanting to retrieve assets in order to pay off debts that you cannot pay. And that's what it is. I mean, the way they are pursuing this levy thing, I'm getting a bit worried about that. That perhaps the country is running out of cash even to pay wages.
I mean, it is. That's the truth. I mean, that's the truth.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
I mean, because you can't tell me that for the last 1 month or 2 months or so, the government has not done anything. They're just trying to pass this levy thing. And if it is all about 6 point something, that's a round figure. Let's even say, if it is all about 7 billion Ghana cedis, that can't be true. I mean, if it's all about 7 billion, then it's something you can drop and continue with the running of the country. It's not a big deal in terms of Ghana's budget at the moment, or financial obligations at the moment. 7 billion Ghana cedis. We are not talking about $7 billion. 7 billion Ghana cedis.
Yeah.
And the president's office alone is consuming 3 billion annually.
Yes. If it is all about that, then I am having a strong conviction that perhaps the country is running out of cash even to pay wages.
Felix, the truth is that they've run out of cash. They will, by March ending, if nothing is done, there are two options. Either they go to IMF. What they want to do, they want to borrow 70 billion.
Frank, you made it absolutely correct, because I'm having a feeling that perhaps after the first quarter, they may not be able to run the country anymore.
Yeah.
Because remember, they've been borrowing for a long time to pay wages and all of these flagship employment programs. They've literally been borrowing money to pay these people. Because like you have a huge welfare budget that have been financed over a long period of time. So you have well-structured ways and means of raising revenue, as you will find in some of these Western countries where they have social welfare budgets that have been financed over many years, either through taxation or some kind of levies or revenue streams coming on. So these are just flagship programs that they brought into office, and a lot of these things they have defaulted. In some cases, people have worked and they've not paid them, and they've asked them to go and stay at home as well.
Okay.
And as for like statutory obligations such as district assembly common funds and things like that, Ghanaians are used to these funds being deprived of cash, sometimes for 2 quarters, 3 quarters, almost getting to 4 quarters. So the Ghanaians can live with that sort of ineptitude. They've lived with that. But I think what perhaps may now begin to hit Ghanaians, if something doesn't happen, is the fact that maybe the end of the month will come and people will go to the bank and there will be nothing in their bank account.
Okay, Felix, we have to end it here because Linda has been waiting. Yeah, and you. We'll catch up later.
Thank you very much, Felix.
Yes. Listeners, it is now time for Career 101. Don't you worry, today it looks like you will not be seeing Linda. It's not because her camera is broken, no, because she's at the place where you cannot see her. All right, so we will be seeing her books. I've been talking about it all this while. The 3 career books. My goodness, you need that. And let me say good afternoon to you, Linda.
Good afternoon, Archie. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Happy Valentine's Day to you.
Valentine's Day. How are you spending it?
In the studio.
You don't know how apt that is.
Well, I'd be in trouble. I have you to speak for me, so I'll be okay. Yeah. Just a quick one. Frank wanted to find your thoughts on this. Okay, he is here.
Right.
Frank.
Linda, there has been this move about this sexuality education. At what age do you think would be appropriate for children to be taught about sex, and what type of content will you want your daughter to be taught?
You know, this is a very interesting topic. I don't know if I can say a specific age, but I definitely think that it's up to the parents. You know, the different kids develop differently. You know,
Yes.
you might be in a household where it's open and they're talking about it, or you might be in a super conservative household where they want you to stay kids for longer. And I think it's the parents' prerogative.
Okay.
I think I'm totally. Well, I don't like the idea that children are being taught sexuality at a very young age or about pronouns and stuff like that. I think it's very confusing.
No, thank you very much. So charity begins at home.
Let the parents. Yeah.
And,
you know how mature your child is.
That is true.
If you want to.
That is true. I mean, you can't go and be teaching a pastor's daughter certain things when their father have taught them something different. You go home, rebellion. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you very, very much, Linda. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, it is now time for Career 101. As I said, today we'll not be seeing the beautiful face of Linda, but we'll be seeing her books on the screen. And as we have the discussions, get your hands on those books and it will help you in your career. Okay, so let's go to Linda. Linda, what are we looking at today?
Well, today, as it's Valentine's Day, we're looking at do what you love. The careers advice: do what you love versus love what you do.
Come again. It wasn't clear enough.
Do what you love versus love what you do.
Okay, do what you love versus love what you do. Interesting. What do I love to do? Somebody there's this advert commercial on the telly, and he says he said the guy says he's happy doing nothing. He likes to do nothing the whole day. That is what he wants. So maybe that's what somebody wants to do. Yeah. Okay. Yes. So do what you love or love what you do. Okay. Over to you.
Fantastic. So there's a popular careers advice trend that's going around and following your passion to get to your career, to identify the ultimate or ideal career. And it's great advice to an extent, but I wanted us to weigh the pros and cons of this advice, how it's beneficial and sometimes detrimental to people, and also put it in context for you as well.
Okay.
So in the career books, especially How to Career, we talk about identifying the right career for you. And it follows the same trend of do what you love, but it's not just blindly doing what you love, because do what you love is not really a sustainable, just as a blanket statement. As human beings, can you hear me? There's a lot of
yes. There's lots of noise in the background, though, but we can hear you. So you go on. Okay, now I can't hear you at all. Hello? No. Okay, just bear with us. Let me do some connection. Let's see. Listen to Star Radio UK. Let's see whether we can call Linda on another line. Okay. She's calling now. Let's see whether we can hear her. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, okay, yes, much better. Go on.
Fantastic. So we fall in and out of love all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And long after you've fallen out of love, you're still going to have to do the job that you do, because you need the money and there's other factors that come into it. So this is why do what you love sometimes isn't the best advice. So it really is an individual, depending on where you are in life at the time, what your minimum financial freedom figure is, as in how much you need to be able to live and pay your bills and be comfortable, where the money stops being a factor.
Yeah.
Then you can build up on that. So passion doesn't pay bills, right? Money does. So sometimes we need to consider that.
Yeah.
The second reason why do what you love sometimes is tricky is that you need to choose work that complements your skills, so that makes use of your skills. So you may have a passion for something, but if you're not skilled at it, it's harder to get work, or it's harder to be successful in that field. So definitely choosing work that leverages your skills is definitely a better careers advice than do what you love. Then, as we said, other factors are more important than just passion. Passion is important, but sometimes you have dependence, sometimes you have mobility needs, sometimes geographically it's impossible, sometimes you don't have access to technology. Whatever it is, there might be factors that stop you from doing what you love. You might want to be a diver but live miles away from the sea, and it's impossible to get near anything resembling water. So diving might be your passion, but you might not have access to that.
Yeah.
Also, success isn't guaranteed when you're following your passions. We tend to say do what you love and you can never go wrong.
Yeah.
But you can.
It's not always true. Hello, Linda.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Yeah, go on.
You might start yoga, and realize no one else around you is prepared or receptive to it. So you're not getting any students, or they're not attending regularly, or you can't keep the times that they want, whatever it is. So it's not always guaranteed that you're going to be successful when you're doing what you love.
Yeah.
Another important factor is passion has a limited shelf life. We've said that. You get a new job and you're super excited, and for the first couple of months or however long it takes, you're really motivated and it's the best thing and you're really excited. But as with everything, nothing lasts forever. The time brings the familiarity, and then you see more and more the things that you don't like about the job, and you kind of fall out of love. So you may have started off doing what you love, but it takes more than the passion to keep going. It's fleeting. It's like motivation, right? New Year's Day, everybody is motivated to be at the gym and to keep fit, but you have to factor out in the human element of it, that you're most likely going to fall out of love, and what's going to keep you going. And then it takes time. It takes time when you're doing what you love to be able to be successful at it, if you are. So you have to be able to factor in if you can afford the time that it takes and the effort that it takes to be successful at your chosen passion. That's also another important factor. And then, of course, sometimes it puts too much pressure on yourself and your job to love it and for it to be great all the time. And we both know that there's good and bad parts in everything, So if you're saying, this is what I love to do, and you get that one annoying customer, it breaks your spirits easier.
Yeah. Yeah. Hello. Hello. Hello, Linda.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I think I know what is happening. The moment I respond, then your line goes quiet or mute. So I'll be quiet so that you can go on. So I can hear you. Go on.
Okay, let's try that. Yes, so that's the conundrum we have with do what you love. But at the same time, there's a lot to be said about doing what you love, because again, you're motivated for it. There's a lot of passion there. There's a lot of momentum that comes with loving it. You know, you want to learn more, and therefore it's easier to progress. But as long as you keep a realistic head on it. Steve Jobs said the only way to do great work is to love what you do. So this is where the other part of this equation comes in. Love what you do. That's the more realistic part. Even though it's not your passion, you can learn to love what you do. You know, if you can attach it to your greater purpose or your greater why, it's easier to love what you do. If you love what you do, you can see the end result. And this goes for employers as well. It's a lot of people that work on small parts of the whole of the machine and don't get to see the bigger picture. And it is your job as an employee and as an employer to show the employee the bigger picture, and that's an employee to plug your job into the bigger picture so that you can understand your individual contribution towards the bigger picture. And then it makes it easier to love what you do. So definitely learning to love what you do, regardless of what you're doing, what pay level you are at, what skill level you are at. You can improve if you decide to love what you do, because love is a decision, right? You can decide I love this, and you'll have a different experience. You can decide I hate it, and you'll have a different experience. And it's the same job, but at least it pays the bills. So definitely love what you do is a better careers way to look at your career or your job at the moment than doing what you love. And if you can do both, fantastic. Are you there, Archie?
I am there. Go on. I didn't want to speak. Once I've spoken now, you see the communication. Your communication will go down. But yes, listeners, HRH Linda Pallien for you. Career 101. We are looking at do what you love or love what you do. One of the points that she's giving us, learn to love what you do. I mean, if not, there are challenges everywhere. But if you learn to love what you do, you fall in love with that, you'll be able to do that. But let's go back to her for her to continue with it. Over to you, Linda.
Fantastic. So, again, there's nothing wrong with setting out to do what you love, but just understanding that it wouldn't. There's always aspects that you won't necessarily love. You may be. I remember in the book I give an example of a ski instructor who really loved teaching ski, and so opened a ski shop and moved up in the mountains. And it was a very successful ski shop, but he found that he was always doing the accounts of the shop and being in the shop, that he hardly had any time to ski anymore. So even though it was in the area of his passion, the actual passion, which was skiing or teaching people how to ski, was absent in when he decided to make it a career. So again, it's really evaluating, even when you've identified a particular area that you love, identify which aspect you love and make sure that you keep a balance of it when you decide to do it as a career. So that's it in the spirit of Valentine's Day and speaking about love in general. Love in itself is unconditional. So you need to embrace the good sides of it as well as the bad sides, especially when it comes to your career, because you will have both experiences. That's the duality of life, right? So understanding that doing what you love sometimes comes at a price, or sometimes it's the decision to love what you do. If you want to know more, of course, there is a lot of there's a lot on the subject in especially the book 1, How to Career, because it takes you through What is your passion? Is it authentic to you? How can you make it? We have a process called VRIM, which is it valuable? Is this thing that you want to do valuable? Is it rare? So VRIM is an acronym. Valuable, rare, imitable, non-substitutable. So again, it takes you to a process where you can take your new business idea or your passion and put it into this and plug it into this equation and see if you will make money before you even venture it into it as a career. So definitely that's in the How to Career book. It's also in the Career Workbook. And I definitely recommend the Career Workbook because you can just take any idea you have and plug it straight into the book, write in the book, and you have it there in front of you before you go and spend time and money on building this passionate career that might not go anywhere.
Wow. Listeners, it's been a very wonderful afternoon. But Valentine's Day, and what a way to sum your career up for you. Do you do what you love or love what you do? And doing what you love, you feel that you are still in love with what you are doing at the moment, though you set up to do that and you are not actually in love with what you are doing. Interesting one. But if you want to know more, go. The podcast will be ready pretty soon. You go there and listen to it. But we have HRH Linda Pallien. She is the one who can hold your hands all the way through the journey to when you start making the money, and that's what this afternoon she's done. But if you want to get in touch with her, she's going to put her contact details across, and then you make sure that you get in touch with her while she sums up. Over to you, Linda.
Fantastic. If you want to know more about how to choose a career you love or learn to love what you do or inject some love into what you do, definitely get in touch. You can get in touch by the website lindapallien.com, LINDAPALLIEN.com, or on social media, that's Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn at Linda Pallien, or of course at my cheerleader, because I am your cheerleader for success.
Well, she's been my cheerleader, and she's my cheerleader, and she can be your cheerleader and Linda as well. So make sure you get in touch with her. Linda, let me say thank you very, very much for this afternoon's presentation once again.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, you're welcome. Happy Valentine's Day. Have fun, and then we'll get in touch later.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right. Then.
You too. Bye.
Bye. Well, listeners, that is where we bring the program to a close for today. Yes. This afternoon is going to be lots of music coming your way. On Point will be coming your way at 5 o'clock, and then be followed by lots and lots of music at 10 o'clock. You'll be having the reggae time with the Conscious Reggae with Dave West, and a lot more going to be coming your way. But until I come your way tomorrow once again with another edition of the morning show, it's been me, Archie, Mr. Frank Davis, Mr. Olayomi Koiki, Kojo D, Felix all the way in Aberdeen, saying have a lovely day, and we'll see you all tomorrow. And well, you know what is making me happy? It's not weed, it's not any alcohol or anything. I'm happy because I know you are happy. God bless you, and bye bye for now.
One finger in the air, everybody.